Don't think I've ever attempted to microwave a wooden ball.
I have.
Did it catch on fire?
No? No, because no, that's not how microwaves work.
No, all you need to do is just not microwave metal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aluminum.
Well, even aluminum's safe unless it's crunchy.
I don't know. Welcome to another episode of Trash Taste, guys. I'm your host for today, Garnt, and with me, why are you laughing, Joey? Why are you laughing?
I'm like, wow, what, we somehow tangented into the show.
I forget sometimes we just start talking, like, oh, the
Yeah.
cameras are rolling. I guess we need to do the intro.
Yeah.
But
Save it for the episode.
joining me once again are the boys.
Thank you.
No worries. You look like you had something to say. Come on.
I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
I watched anime.
I was okay. This is fucking weird, right? Because I was about to say, I'm the host for today. I'm hijacking this show. We're talking about anime because it's been a while since we had an anime title in one of our episodes.
You know what's crazy, Connor? I also watched
Are
anime.
you fucking for real?
Was it Chainsaw Man?
No, I watched.
okay.
I watched an anime film. Actually, I watched two anime films yesterday.
What is going on?
It's 2017
what is going
all
on?
over again.
What's
Holy
happened?
shit!
What's
I'm
happened?
having flashbacks.
Okay.
The good old days.
All right, how
What did
should
you
we do
watch?
this? How should we? I mean, I watched 3 shows.
Oh shit!
3
I watched
shows.
3 shows. I don't know how to start this discussion.
Wait. Let's go with Joey first
let's go with Joey
because
Okay.
because it's a rarity whenever I get to hear Joey
That's
talk
true.
about anime.
Joey doesn't talk about anime. How many does it's about some obscure shit that I don't fucking care about?
I like how every time Joey talks about anime, my first reaction is, "Really? Tell me everything,
Why
Joey.
is it
Tell
more
me
believable
everything."
that I'm watching anime than him?
Oh, you just
What are you, the YouTube comments?
All right, come on, tell me.
Okay, so I just on a whim, I think, because I was talking to my friend about the late Satoshi Kon, right? Easily one of the most like groundbreaking, influential, unique anime directors of all time. And I thought to myself, I was like, damn, I haven't watched a lot of Satoshi Kon in a while.
Okay.
And I thought to myself, all right, I'm probably going to try and find if there are any Satoshi Kon films on Netflix, because I had some time. The only one that Netflix Japan has is Millennium Actress.
I've heard that's good.
Brilliant film.
Which I was glad because I was like, I've seen Perfect Blue plenty of times to remember it. I've seen Paprika enough times. I've seen Tokyo Godfathers. Millennium Actress, though, I feel like I've only watched it once, and it was like decades ago.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, perfect. I'll like refresh myself on Millennium Actress because I literally don't remember anything about it. Fucking brilliant film. Like, I know it wasn't a surprise because it's Satoshi. Wow. Biggest revelation, guys. Joey rediscovers that Millennium Actress is in fact a good movie.
Yeah.
But man, like rewatching that film just made me realize, I mean, for one, it came out in 2001. Can you believe that? It's a 22-year-old film.
I can
and
believe that
it's
because I have no idea what you're talking about.
And it still looks fucking incredible to this day.
Yeah, I mean, Millennium Match. I don't. You said about watching Satoshi Kon films. He's not made a bad film.
No, I mean, he's
Like-
only made 4.
Yeah, exactly. He's only made 4. The only thing arguable about him making a bad film is probably Dream Machine because
he didn't finish
because
it.
he didn't get to finish that. That's the closest he's come to making a bad film.
Can you imagine just having such a perfect filmography that your only bad entry is the one that you didn't finish because you died before it finished?
What's he up to? Is he just like living off the wages of those 4
I know
films?
he's
dead.
He's dead.
Oh. I didn't know that.
He died like 10 years ago or something.
How old is he?
He was like in his 40s.
Yeah, he was pretty young.
I think he died of like...
So I guess I know what he's up to then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He-
Not a whole lot. Is your
what he's
answer.
up-
I was like, why is he gonna make 4? I
what
didn't
he's
know.
up to is nothing, unfortunately.
Okay, well-
But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, he is one of the greatest tragedies in the anime industry because
See, I don't know anything about him. I just know that he made the films that people like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
have you seen a Satoshi Kon
Yeah,
film?
I've seen
Perfect Blue?
Yeah, Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue,
I've seen
yeah.
Perfect Blue and I liked
Right,
that one.
right.
That was very good. I think I spoke about it on Trash Taste.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you
yeah.
did.
I
Yes.
really liked that film. I didn't know he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then that
Unfortunately.
fucking sucks.
Unfortunately, like he is in all of anime history, probably one of the most talented directors and filmmakers to ever come out of Japan.
Oh, absolutely.
And he has made stuff that has not only like aged wonderfully.
I mean, Perfect
He
Blue.
was like years ahead of his time. He was so ahead of his time that Hollywood film directors has taken his ideas and some of his individual scenes and put them into their own Hollywood films.
I mean, there are literally like some scenes in Requiem for a Dream that are just a 1-to-1 copy of scenes from Perfect Blue.
Yeah, exactly.
How did he die?
he died of prostate cancer.
I believe it's
pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer.
Jesus, that sounds awful.
Yeah. But yeah, so Millennium Actress is his second film, the one he did after Perfect Blue.
That was his first film?
That was his first film.
How do some people just wake up and just immediately hit? Like, they don't-
No.
I'm going to make a film and it's going to change everything.
Yeah, he literally just woke up one day and was like, I'm going to make one of the greatest anime films ever.
I love people like, man, you got to train so hard to be good. Like, this man wakes up, he's like, I'm going to make a film. It's going to be bad.
Well,
I'm sure he trained a lot, but I'm just joking. But like, that's insane that his first film is that good.
Did you know that he actually did some scenes in Akira?
Of course he did.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I rewatched Millennium Actress basically to sum up the film. It's so hard to sum up a Satoshi Kon film. But basically, Millennium Actress is about this actress who is like, past her prime. I think it's like 70-year career or something. And she films this documentary about her life, reflecting on her life and how she went into the acting industry because she met this random dude who she doesn't know the name of, doesn't even remember the face of, but it was basically her first love.
Okay.
When she was a child. And so she goes into the acting in a world in the hopes that she can get famous enough that the guy will recognize her on the big screen and that they can meet again, essentially. But what is so brilliant about this film is the fact that, like every Satoshi Kon film, he does this brilliant job of like mixing in different realms of reality throughout the movie. So it's like you watch a scene in Millennium Actress and you go, okay, is this just a scene out of a movie she acted in? Or is this a metaphor for what was going on in her real life at the time? Or is it actually a depiction of a reality?
English teachers be like...
No, but like, I mean, as cliche as it sounds though, like it is,
fun.
It's purely like that. And the way that like Satoshi Kon transitions into these scenes, like you could be getting used to one scene and then half a second later, it transitions into a completely different film. And the entire time you're like, is this a recreation of the movie she was in? Or is this her telling her story through the movies that she was in?
Yeah. I think one thing that makes him just a fucking genius in terms of like cinematography and just a storyteller is that the way he is able to transition between scenes is completely seamless.
Yeah.
It's unreal. And he uses this in such an interesting way in films like Millennium Actress and Perfect Blue, where I think Millennium Actress she tells her life story, but she tells you see her life story through the lens of basically a movie, right? And it's got references to a lot of movies and a lot of different genres. So it's kind of this, you going in and out of reality, being like, oh, you're wondering if this scene that she's showing us is a movie that she acted in, or is it a scene that happened in her actual life? And there's no real, there's no real line between what is real and what is on film. But it's just the way he uses that as a way to tell her life story. It's just fucking genius.
Yeah, and it's this other brilliant thing. And I picked up so many new things about Millennium Actress I didn't pick up the first time around. Like, for example, like, the first half of the film, as she's telling her life story of like, I met this guy, I fell in love with him. I went to the big city to, pursue a career to, hopefully meet him one day. And I did all of these different kinds of movies and, built up these roles and went through these hardships of becoming a big actress. And then the second half of the movie uses those exact same scenes but in a completely different context. So basically, he somehow, as you get to know about this actress and the hardships which she went through in her real life, they then replay a lot of those scenes in the second half. But now you're looking at it through the lens of her real life off the screen.
Oh, I see.
And so, like, for anyone who's watched Millennium Actress, literally the first scene of the film and the last scene of the film is the exact same scene. But the context behind it is completely flipped on its head.
It's pretty cool.
You watch the first scene and you're like, oh, this is a movie. This is in the context of a movie. She's in a spacesuit and she's going to space saying, I have to go and meet this person, right? And it's all in the context of a film, and it's in the context of a film. But then they reuse that exact same scene with the exact same dialogue, and now it means something completely different.
That's cool.
And he does it, I don't know how the fuck he did it, but he made that so seamless throughout an hour and 20 long movie. Like, it's not a long movie at all.
Man, remember when films used to be an hour and 20?
Yeah, right? Avatar 2 could never.
Take me back.
It feels so meaningless to be like, hey, this amazing experience. Give it a score out of 10.
Oh fuck! I mean,
Is it like would you say it's like as close to a perfect film in your mind as it can get?
I'm beyond giving scores. Actually, I'm beyond.
Well, it's like you explain this like amazing thing, and I'm like, give score.
see, because like
IGN score.
Give 8 out of 10, please.
it actually made me like want to make a video of like Satoshi Kon worst to best, but like then I realized after watching Millennium Actress, I was like, he doesn't have a worst.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally the most perfect.
Why don't you say
filmography?
Best from bestest then?
Yeah, best to bestest.
Yeah,
that's how you don't piss people off.
Least strongest.
Yeah.
Most strongest.
If I
implies any of them are not strong. We say Garnt, so bestest to best.
bestest to
bestest.
Yeah, but like I just like, you know, I kind of just like rediscovered like why I love this guy's films, and even like the manga that he made.
You were about to say I rediscovered why I love anime.
No, I always have that. Don't worry. I could never. But like it made me, and so like
you're gonna mention Chainsaw Man within the next 10 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Chainsaw Man 10 out of 10, obviously.
Okay.
I'm marking my wolf off. Then I was like, I also watched a new film this time. I watched this movie called Ride the Wave, which is Masaaki Yuasa's latest film. I say latest film because it came out in like 2021, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it in cinemas.
I could be totally wrong. I thought that looked like ass. Am I crazy?
You think?
I saw the trailer and I thought, nah, dog, not for me.
I mean, I think
am I crazy?
I think out of like Yuasa's filmography, it's probably one of his prettiest films.
Wait, crap. Is he the guy who makes the same movie over again, or is it a different guy?
No,
that's Makoto Shinkai.
That's Makoto Shinkai.
He makes the same movie over
again.
I can't watch it.
Yuasa is the one who did Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah. Okay.
Devilman Crybaby, Ping Pong the animation,
Kaiba.
I feel like I saw the trailer for this film and I thought I don't get it.
Okay, I have two reactions when I see a Yuasa film.
Yeah.
My first reaction is,
what the fuck?
Okay, did someone rein him in with the plot for this? Because if you let Masaaki Yuasa do what he wants, it just goes a direction where you're like, I don't fucking know, man.
It turns into Kaiba. That's what happens. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Like, I remember watching, I think it's, I can't remember the name of the film, Mind Game.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to explain everything to me. By the way. Like, I've never heard of anime.
Okay, yeah. Mind Game, I don't even know how to explain that to someone who watched the film, let alone someone who hasn't watched the film.
All I can say is
basically he's a batshit insane director.
Oh, he's insane.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say some scenes of Mind Game that I remember out of context.
I mean, he made Devilman Crybaby, right?
That Devilman Crybaby was I think one of his works that made the most amount of sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even then.
So Mind Game starts off with a guy confessing to a girl, and then I think the girl does something. He's in a bar, and then he gets shot. And then he dies, and he sees God, who is a goldfish, who gives him another chance at life. He reincarnates, and then he runs off, gets swallowed by a massive whale, and he lives in the whale's stomach for like months and months with an old man and a girl.
You're literally just bringing back memories of Mind Game. I was like, yes, that is in fact what happens.
And then they have this like dance scene. This will live rent free in my mind for ages. They have this dance scene where they have like massive poles coming out of their dicks. And they're playing like hula with it and some shit like that.
Oh my god!
And then at the end of the film, he escapes the whale, and that was spoilers for Mind Game. But is it really spoilers for Mind Game?
I don't think I have just, more.
It's like explaining the next JoJo part out of context. It's like it still doesn't make sense.
Like that was all out of context.
Yeah,
that made no sense in context.
I would say the Ride the Wave is probably I mean, I think with Mind Game, did he also co-write that?
I don't fucking know.
I hope he did. Otherwise, I'm worried for whoever wrote Mind Game. But basically, Ride the Wave is like, I would say it's probably one of the most like cohesive Yuasa films.
Right.
It's very straightforward. Just like it's a really cute film.
Yeah.
So basically,
you can make cute things.
Yeah, I know. I was actually also surprised. I was like, it was so cute to the point where it didn't feel like a Yuasa film. But basically, the story is the main girl is this like surfer chick, and she meets this guy who's like a firefighter one day, and after he saves her from a house fire, and then they fall in love. That they get together, and then the guy, spoiler alert for Ride the Wave, the guy drowns from a surfing accident. And basically, she's really torn up about it because like that was like her first love
film. What
and
the
everything.
fuck?
And then And then what happens is, that after that, she starts to see visions of him inside the water.
Yeah.
This is not very cute.
To the point where she can actually summon him in like a water form out in the real world and like interact with him as if he was still alive. And it's basically this idea of like, it's called Ride the Wave because it's kind of like a double entendre of like, obviously riding the wave, like literally
He's a
like
surfer dude,
hell yeah.
Ride the wave.
But it's also like riding the wave of like your life of like, you know, stuff happens, shit happens, you miss that first wave, but the next wave is going to come. So, you know, you have to move on with your life. And it's a very simple, straightforward, like romantic drama. But obviously with like Yuasa aesthetics thrown into it. So like the character designs are very Yuasa. The animation style is just fucking whacked out because Science Saru was on some crack as they usually are. And yeah, I'd say like it's definitely not like a Yuasa film, but it had hints of Yuasa, and I think it's probably the most like approachable Yuasa film, if that makes sense. Like I would show that over something like, you know, Tatami Galaxy or something.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think some
newcomer.
of his most approachable stuff is probably Ping Pong, the animation, and Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, I'd say it's more approachable than that, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
I would say like aesthetics wise and just like theming wise, like if you've never heard of a Yuasa film, I'd be like, start off with this, and if you vibe with this, then you can go to like Ping Pong or Devilman Crybaby.
Why does he want his shit to be so ugly? I don't. Like, why is Ping Pong as ugly as it is? Is that on purpose?
I'd say so.
Is it to like wean out like fake normies?
I mean, it's just a fucking unique art style, and the
unique.
more I've watched anime, the more I fucking respect it.
No, I like it. I like it, but I just wonder, like, god damn, this is so ugly, like intentionally.
Yeah,
like why?
I mean, I think there are some pretty ugly moments in the story, you know, where you kind of like you have some characters that have this realization that life is just fucking shitty, man. Life ain't fair, life ain't shitty. Sometimes it's fucking ugly, man.
I mean, after like, you know, you watch hundreds and thousands of shows and movies, like it's the ugly ones that you remember.
Oh my god,
you know?
like I like with the amount of anime I like have watched over the past few years, the amount of light novel adaptations that look like a copy paste. I'm fucking tired of that shit, man.
It's like, oh, here's Kirito clone number 370.
For every light novel protagonist looks the fucking same.
Yeah.
So do the waifus as well.
Yep.
It's the same. It's always the same bright light novel-esque character designs, and there's no variation in it at all. And I just like seeing something like, you know, Ping Pong the animation, like Devilman Crybaby. It's nice just to see something different sometimes. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. What have you been watching, Connor?
So I finished Chainsaw Man, which is great.
Yeah.
There's not really much to say other than, can I have more, please?
Yep. Well, pretty much.
We are getting some more.
I know. I mean, it's like, it's fucking amazing, and it's good, and you should watch it, and it's worth the hype. And don't do what Joey does sometimes and just be like, it's too popular, I'm not gonna watch it.
Hey, to be fair, I did watch Chainsaw Man. Okay,
even Joey couldn't.
Even Joey couldn't resist, man.
He couldn't resist. It was goated. It's good.
As a Fujimoto fan, I had to. All right.
I watched 4 episodes of Blue Lock.
Oh yeah,
and then I'm done. I think I'm out.
Really?
I think it's too boring.
Really?
It's so shit.
Oh, you think Blue Lock shit?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Why do you think it was shit?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Was it the sports element or what?
Kind of wish people would just die. That would be much better if people just died when they got kicked out. That'd make it way more interesting.
So you want Squid Game, basically.
I just figured if they kind of go...
That's a completely different fucking TV series.
That's a me thing. That's just a me thing. They
just rewatch Death Note.
Okay,
right?
here's the thing.
If that's what you want.
Okay. Watch Blue Lock, right? Watch Blue Lock, right? Yeah. And tell me if they didn't change it so that they died, that the characters would act any different. It would be the exact same. The characters pretend like they're literally about to die anyway if they don't score this goal or if they don't like win this thing. So I'm like, just fucking kill them. At least add some fucking stakes.
Well, no.
Because I don't think not playing for the Japanese team is that bad. Okay, Sumi, why is he acting like his life is crushed?
But that's the thing. All these characters in Blue Lock, that is their life of like the wanting to get to that team.
That's the whole
to them, that is the life and death situation.
That's the whole point of every sports anime, is that every sports anime character don't have a life outside of that one sport.
exactly.
like, I think ping pong is like the one exception where you had to see scenes.
I'm tired of it. And I watched it and I'm like, oh, great. This are 4 characters that I could say that they copy pasted from like 5. Like half the characters feel like they're like copy paste from Yomushi Pedal. Like there's so many other characters in it as well that feel like I'm watching like an amalgamation of Crocono Basket and then Yomushi Pedal and other sports anime just conglomerate.
No,
but
that,
why don't you care if other sports anime characters die?
No, I think I'm just done. I think I'm done with sports anime, and I think this was like the nail in the coffin.
That's fine, because I like Blue Lock just because, you know, no one dies in it, as no one really does in sports anime. You know, I don't really go into sports anime thinking people were going to die. I like Blue Lock because most sports anime is about, oh guys, let's all play together. Let's win with the power of friendship and teamwork. And Blue Lock's like, fuck that shit. You go out there and be selfish and be like egotistical.
Yeah.
Fuck the other players.
That's what pissed me off, is that they did this and they pushed this and then they're like, okay, now play as a team. And then you're like, what? And then now they have to figure out how to be a team.
But then that creates an interesting dynamic of a bunch of people who are trying to kick each other off while also trying to work as a team. So that dynamic is interesting.
But it ultimately just came down to like, okay, this is the cast. These are the guys are going to be the team, and they're going to learn to work together. And by the way, the show is not about that, and it's about not working together and being the person who does all the work. Well, I just got pissed off. I was like, it just feels like there's so many contradictions. And then not to be that guy, but oh my god, whenever they had 3D shots, I was like, what the fuck is that? That shit was hideous. Well, don't tell me that. Okay, everyone try to shit on Chainsaw Man for the 3D, dude. But Blue Lock had some ass 3D.
Well, I also don't want to be that guy, but the manga was better.
Of course, the manga was better. I'm watching this show and I'm like, holy shit, the pacing sucks ass.
You know that's true though with Blue Lock. The manga is better.
It is. I can already
like,
tell.
I read ahead.
I'm literally sitting next to anime Twitter. Like literally,
I read ahead in the manga.
Literally,
actually better.
3D. No, 3D. The manga was better. Actually.
No. Okay, because what happened was that there was so much other shit I didn't like that now I won't make excuses in my head for the shit 3D. Right? Like if it was good, I would ignore the 3D. But when they do those overhead shots where they pass the ball and everyone's just static and like their shitty 3D models, I'm like, this is so ass. I can't do this. And like, I don't
even think it was that bad, if I'm being honest.
I don't even remember.
I think I was just pissed off from how annoyed I was at the story that it made me more angry. And like, I just hated it. I just thought it was
liked the part I liked about Blue Lock was that they didn't kill them. Because I'm so fucking sick of these like death game fucking anime that have like zero stakes and it's like, guys,
I mean, they did.
Oh my god, they killed someone.
I do want to say that is just me being like fucking dumb.
No, I get it.
I just think that like man, it felt so slow as well. Like it felt like nothing happened all the time. Yeah, I felt like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
It felt like barely anything had happened.
That's really funny because I think in terms of like normal sports anime pacing, Blue Lock is really fast paced compared to a lot of sports anime. Like especially the first 4 episodes of Blue Lock. I fucking enjoyed the shit out of Blue Lock. And I am enjoying the shit out of Blue Lock just because it's just a different take on sports anime. I think it's a lot of fun. Maybe you're just done with sports anime because
maybe I'm done with. I just think the whole way it's done is kind of lame.
I mean, I'm like Blue Lock's
very nuanced.
Blue Lock's not my I did realize something after watching Blue Lock and another football anime this year, Aoashi, which is like a production IG sports anime about football, which is like more traditional sports style. I realized, I think I just enjoyed watching real sport now. Because god fucking damn, going from watching Blue Lock to watching the World Cup, I was like, this is so much better. What? Why am I watching sports anime when I could be watching the fucking World Cup? Yo, seeing Japan's arc in the World Cup, seeing the shit that happened in Japan's matches, that was way more exciting than anything that happened in the World Cup. Sorry, in Blue Lock.
We just gotta wait 4 more years.
Yeah, we just gotta wait 4 more years. You know,
I think also what really, I don't know why this kind of turned me off so much. When they all started fucking talking about how they have like in Blue Lock, right? So it's football, but some of the characters have just monsters inside of them, and I'm like, nah, I'm done. I'm like, I'm like, this is shit.
I like that.
This is so dumb.
I like, what's your superpower? It's schizophrenia, actually.
I got a monster.
Right? I got a monster that's talking to me.
It's like, oh, why did you pass me? The monster told me, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Can you not just be good at the fucking sport? Why do you have to have some schizophrenic tendencies tendency for you to be remotely even interesting as a character. Like, why?
It needs to be that or some kind of like bullshit superpower. Right?
Yeah, like why for me to care about a character do you have to be schizophrenic and have funny hair? Like I just come on. Like there's got to be better ways to write these characters.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's why Slam Dunk is the GOAT.
And then
they didn't have any of that. Yeah,
and then like the fourth episode, the one I kind of clocked out. They were like against this team, and I don't know why it pissed me off. This main character just had hentai hair, and I was like, why? I don't know why it's pissed me off. I'm like, this is a fucking, he's against a fucking hentai protagonist right now. This guy was done NTRing 5 minutes ago in the other room.
Pass it to my monster cock, quickly.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know why. I'm just, this show is, I can't keep watching this.
Yeah.
I'm done.
You just see fucking Messi, like all the top football players. They're just like they're just schizophrenic. You know, Mbappe in the World Cup final, he was just listening to his little monster that was telling him to score. That's why he waited until like the 80th minute. Right?
I just loved it how they were like
Ibrahimovic is just like the two wolves inside of me told me to kick this goal.
It's like when you zoom into their like pupils and you just see the fucking like the sketchy eyes they get when they're listening to their monsters. What's up with that?
The one thing I did like is that they were like, the reason we're shit as a nation is because we're not selfish. All right, guys. So we need more selfishness from you guys. All right. So can we make a center to harbor selfishness? So
dude, when I heard that, I was like, bars. He's been fast.
Yeah. It's like we're just not selfish enough. Let's make a multi-million-dollar facility to make kids more selfish. So that's what we're gonna do.
All in favor say aye.
And the only way we can do that is to pit you all against each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Blue Lock's just dumb fun. I'm never gonna take it seriously.
Oh no, I wish I could look at it like that, but I think I'm just burnt out on sports anime.
Yeah.
I think.
What's your favorite sports anime, would you say?
Not counting ping pong. I don't
count ping pong.
I don't count ping
Why
pong.
can't I count that?
Because that's like
that's a human drama.
That's a life anime.
But that was like a good sports anime. That would by far be my favorite.
It's so far and beyond what you see in your typical sports anime.
Yeah.
That I don't really count it as a sports anime.
I think if I watched Kuroko because I watched all of Kuroko no Basket. If I watched that now, I don't think I could sit through it. I think I sat through it at a time where that was appealing to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have to recognize that my anime tastes have changed, and sports anime definitely appeals to that kind of teenage part of my brain that loves overhyped and superpowers in real life.
Yeah.
Like I think as a kid, you really like put yourself in those situations where you're like, hey, I wish I could be like this in sport. Like I wish I could be the GOAT. Like I wish I had this kind of power, and I can kind of be like, whoa, that's fucking sick. So to answer what is my favorite sports anime, it's hard to say because like I really enjoyed watching Kuroko no Basket, but I don't think I could sit through it now. Weirdly enough, I liked Yomushi Pedal, but I didn't finish it because they have so much fucking episodes.
Yeah.
I watched like the first 2 seasons and I digged it. But again, I can't think of any sports anime I kind of liked a lot. I thought Free was okay, but it kept trying to like just get horny.
So question, is that a sports anime though?
Well, that's
that is a sports anime.
It's a horny anime that disguises itself as sports.
Yeah, that's true.
Yuri on Ice was pretty good.
Yeah.
For what it was. I thought that was a great story. My problem with sports anime is that like you're in it for the long term. Like it's always like and I get it because you have to show the growing.
Yeah.
I also another thing about Blue Lock that pissed me off. I hate it when they try and make out that our protagonist is like the weakest one there, and it's like he's obviously fucking not. Like he's like ranked 299 out of 300. It's like, fuck off. No one believes that. We're watching the show.
It's the My Hero formula.
Yeah, and I'm like, none of us believe that this guy is the shittest here. Straight up. Like, let's just be real.
I want them to make a shonen where they started off like the protagonist is the shittest one, and he just remains the shittest one for the entire time.
Or, like, let's just be honest, he's like the 20th out of 300.
He's the GOAT.
And we watch,
that's why he's the GOAT.
And we watch a guy who's already very talented just work much harder to become the GOAT. Like, why stop doing this? Like, it's obvious he's not the shittest. Because in real life, if you're the shittest, you're going to still be the shittest.
See, this is another reason why I still think Slam Dunk is the GOAT, because what they did with Hanamichi, the main character, is that like they built it up at the beginning as like he's never played basketball before, but he has the physical prowess to become the greatest basketball player.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
And seeing that, and he starts off shit, but he's so confident in himself and so cocky about himself that when he does go into a match and pull off a sick slam dunk, you're just like, fuck yeah.
It's I guess my problem is suspension of disbelief and how often I have to do it with these shows.
Yeah, talking to you, it sounds like you in entertainment, your tastes are more geared towards something grounded and something more.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say
it's a natural
that,
progression.
Yeah, not to say that I wouldn't like. Obviously, if there's some dumb shit in Chainsaw Man, I'm gonna be like, oh, cool. But it's like, okay, you know, you're talking soccer, you're talking football, right? Where whatever it is you
which is rooted in reality.
I mean, that's soccer in my
I would
brain, not
argue
football,
that Chainsaw Man, for as ridiculous as it is, feels more grounded than
sure, right?
anything in Blue Lock. And that's just because, you know, I look at something like...
explains the rules of the world.
Yeah, I look at something like Chainsaw Man. I look at something like Blue Lock. Blue Lock is... You know when you talk to someone and you're like, oh yeah, this was like really anime, you know? Blue Lock has everything that gives you that feeling of just like all of these anime bullshit-esque things that we've just all gotten used to. And you think of so many shows like Blue Lock that it's just like, oh, this is just when I think of what a typical anime is like in terms of all the tropes and everything that we kind of not criticize, but parody anime to be about. It's all in Blue Lock. When I look at Chainsaw Man, I see something that I see really grounded and well thought out characters in a fucking insane world.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the most unrealistic thing about Chainsaw Man is how well that man is able to function drunk all the time. That's literally the most unrealistic part that where I have to really suspend my disbelief.
True.
I don't know, man. If you've seen Alcoholics, you're like, some people just
that guy is straight up drinking from the flask non-stop. Bro. Ain't no way he's fighting that good. Changed my mind. No, that's where I draw. That's where I was.
Average day in Wisconsin, right? Am I right, my fellow Wisconsinites?
Average Irish person is like, allow me to introduce myself. He's so sharp in that show. How is he that good and that drunk all the time and that coherent? He never stumbles once.
It's interesting with sports anime, right? Because like I totally get like the whole like grounded thing because like, you know, that's what makes, again, like I hate to sound like a broken record, that's what makes shows like Slam Dunk so great. But I feel there's just as much of an equal enjoyment on the entire opposite side of the spectrum. Where like something like Prince of Tennis, right? Like that thing is so fucking unrealistic to the point where it's just entertaining as hell. Like it's so stupid where it's like from the beginning, you know you're not going to take this shit seriously.
That's like the One Punch Man of sports anime.
Exactly.
Like I think it feels that sports anime haven't changed in like 20 years. Like,
I can agree with that.
It feels like they've
until Blue Lock.
Until Blue Lock, yeah.
Like it feels like they've barely changed and the formula never changes, and that like, you know, another thing that pissed me off in Blue Lock, if you watched it, they introduced this one character, and I don't know why this annoyed me so much, but I just was like, God, this is the dumbest shit. They introduced this character who is like amazing at football, and he plays overseas in the European leagues. He's like a college student. He's like, I refuse to play in Japan. They're all peasants and not good enough at the game. And then he overhears this new Blue Lock pro. He's like, I'm listening. Cancel my flight. I'm staying in Japan. I'm like, God, this is so fucking dumb. And then it asks you to take it so seriously, like 10 seconds later. And I'm like, which one, like, what level of disbelief and which level of seriousness do you want me to engage with this? I just don't get it. Like, Slam Dunk is great for me. Like, I like Ice Shield. Ice Shield was great, but I sound like Slam Dunk's perfect for me, and I should just fucking read it.
Yes, just read Slam Dunk.
Yeah, just read Slam. I don't know, like sports anime to me, I really like Blue Lock just because of how ridiculous it was with like its battle royale formats. I feel like you either go one way or the other. You either go this really grounded take like Slam Dunk, or you go something ridiculous and just fucking have fun with it. Like a sports anime I watched recently, which kind of went like the ridiculous route, is an anime called Birdie Wing. And it's a golf anime. And I'm like, how the fuck do you make golf?
No, I believe golf could be
how do you make golf fun to watch? And you make it fun to watch by adding all of the like every single anime bullshit power you can think of. Like this
time reversal.
So there's so we start off with so it's a golf anime, but the main character, she says that she's not a golfer. She doesn't play golf. All she does is hit a ball with a stick. That's all she does, right?
So Happy Gilmore.
And it's based. So what happens is you take these like Mario. You played Mario Golf, right?
Yeah, of course.
You take these like Mario Golf aesthetics and power ups and stuff like that, and then you add it into a secret underground society where you have life or death games with golf matches.
That sounds awesome.
If you're going to go that far, just add death.
Yeah, of course.
Make that the punishment.
Yeah, because with Birdie Wing, there's there's this underground society where people have like betting games on golf matches, and it's like life or death. And someone has built like there's like this golf Seto Kaiba that has built this underground facility where they can like reprogram their golf course to whatever they want. And so there's this golfers come from all over the world to have life or death bets on golf matches at this place.
Right.
And then there's just this whole subplot about the underground organization. You're watching a golf anime and then some guy just gets like kamikazed in the middle of a fucking road. There's like some guy takes out an RPG and just blows up this guy on the road. I'm like, am I watching a fucking golf anime or what? But like, that's what you need to make a sports anime fun as fuck to watch. But go watch Birdie Wing. That's actually like a really underrated sports anime.
Is there like a Pegasus type character that can see like the exact place of that? Like he needs to like millenniumize
everyone has like some fucking bullshit fucking power.
Yeah,
man.
I love that.
What's the other anime that you're watching?
So I saw this clip on Twitter, and I've seen it a few times of this one show. And I've been meaning to watch it because I was just like, fuck it, I really want to see the context behind this goddamn clip. So I watched a show called Golden Boy.
Oh yeah. Legendary.
Dub, right?
I watched the dub
Of course you have to.
because I heard the dub and I was like, that sounds really dumb and really funny. I want to watch it. And
Wait,
did
wasn't
not
the pool scene?
I've
drowns
seen
in
the
the pool?
pool scene before, and I've seen the bike scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah,
you've probably seen these floating around on the internet if you've been around long enough. There's a scene that's quite popular that I feel like it does the rounds every few months, where a guy is like dead serious, and then it looks like a serious swimming competition is about to happen. Then he jumps in and goes, for 10 seconds. And then there's another scene that always pops up, you might have seen, where a dude is like cycling on electrical wires.
Yeah.
And then jumps off a cliff. It's like the most insane shit. And I watched it and I was like, God, this is such a good show, unironically.
Oh yeah.
No, it is.
So
It is.
good. And so horny.
And
Holy fuck.
I think part of the reason it's so good is the dub's fucking amazing. I think
it's so funnily bad.
Yeah.
Like the main guy is screaming constantly.
Yeah.
I think the main, I'm not sure if this is true, but I think I heard this is like the main guy's only voice acting role in anime.
Really?
And I believe it because it seems like it doesn't sound like he's come from a traditional voice acting background.
It's literally
my life's work.
Like, I feel like it's just because animes are expressive. I think they took that as like, oh my God. It's like literally anything happens and he just starts screaming. And it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so chaotic.
But it's, the voice acting is just good enough to make it funny when it's bad.
Yeah. Because he like...
Do you want to explain the plot as well?
I can't remember the plot.
Okay, I guess I just watched it.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's about this guy who's traveling across Japan, and he's quite intelligent, but also really dumb at the same time, and very perverted, obviously.
Yeah.
And every single episode kind of centers around a very attractive woman. So he starts a new job, and there's always an attractive woman. And they straight up just show titty a lot in this thing. And
yeah, man. It was a different time.
There's
a scene with a girl and a motorcycle. And
yes, this girl just nuts on a motorcycle.
Yeah, just in front of this guy.
Like at a gas station. She's like a very attractive, I would describe MILF. And she just nuts from the vibration of the
engine.
motor.
Yeah.
And then it proceeds to get like, proceeds to be a downhill race where he beats a motorcycle and he just jumps off cliffs, and it's the most insane shit. And it's so funny. It's so good. And the whole show is how he goes to these new jobs and these people don't like him, but then he proves to be really good and resourceful, even though he's a massive pervert. And it's just fun. It's like 30-minute episodes that all
Unfortunately,
really
it's only
time.
6 episodes.
6 episodes.
I wish there was
amazing.
more, but also they used 6 10 out of 10 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, I was
100%.
laughing, crying at so many points. It's so funny. It's so good. The animation is actually amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It looks insane.
It still looks amazing to this day. Yeah.
There's so many scenes in there. Just I remember so many fucking scenes in there. Just some. I think the voice acting plays a massive part as well because you never know what to expect.
Oh yeah,
right. We've heard enough.
Subverted my expectations so many times.
Yeah, we've heard enough like anime voice actors to be like, okay, in a comedy anime, this is where the punchline is, or this is what it's going to sound like in XXX. And in Golden Boy, there would just be like this random line that he speaks in the most like out of context.
It feels like half the lines definitely were just added in and definitely weren't there in the original. It's so weird. weird and so fun. But the character's really likable, even though he does like a bunch of weird stuff that normally you'd be like every episode. All the women, he at some point for some reason is cleaning their toilets, and every single episode he starts like kissing the toilets, and then of course the woman always walks in, and it's always just weird how it all kind of plays in. It's all very like
pervy humor.
It's like if Mr. Bean was a massive pervert, and could talk.
So
but it all
like,
worked out in the end.
I don't mind those kinds of scenes. Like
so fun. It was so good.
If you're gonna make a character like degenerate, go 100%.
Oh yeah.
Because if you make them just a little bit degenerate, you like
because it's so degenerate where you suspend disbelief.
You suspend disbelief to be like this ain't a real person. If you just add like a little bit of it, then sometimes you're just like, man, why you gotta be like that?
It becomes awkward.
Fucking Meliodas, man. Like fucking like you are so fucking close, you know. And then you just had this one little thing, and you're like, why did that need to be that?
Yeah.
So if you're gonna make something degenerate, just like go 100, like 110%.
Yeah.
And that's what they did with Golden Boy.
So good.
It's so fucking horny, but it's horny to the point where you just don't take it seriously
funny,
anymore, and it just adds to that humor. Like, oh my God.
It's such a good show. Like,
It is
It's
very good.
So worth the watch.
It is pee pee poo poo humor to like the like done to like the finest degree.
Well, it's like pee pee poo poo humor, and then they just show you literally like the sexiest shot ever in anime. Like it's so horny, and it's so well done. It's insane. And it got me thinking. I was like, damn. And every woman in it is like a MILF. And I was like, damn, where did we go wrong with anime? Like in the 90s, it was all about MILFs.
Kind of like back in the good old days.
I've never said this before. I was born in the wrong generation. Straight up. Like they had it right back then. And now it's all shit.
You got to watch more 90s shows. Man.
Everyone's like a 12-year-old 200 vampire. You know, it's like, what is this shit? Where are the 90s office workers?
The 90s OVA era, man. They had some.
It was,
they had some wild things going on.
It was like
back then,
women who are hot and work in offices, who are stern and want to beat you up. And I'm like, that's what we need back. I don't want these lolly vampire women. I don't want them. Get rid of them. I want these office workers back.
Oh, these
Fuck
office
yeah,
workers
man.
back.
That's what I'm good.
Honestly, like it's because here's the thing about something like Golden Boy. I find it so rare to find a comedy anime that actually makes me like laugh.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. It's
like,
so good.
I can count on like one hand the amount of comedy anime I think are actually like gut-bustingly like funny.
Yeah.
And Golden Boy is one of those shows.
sure.
Oh, definitely.
Because I feel like anime comedy, a lot of the times I find it like really like slapstick, but I rarely find it like haha funny. It's just like, you know.
I think for the one for me, obviously comedy is subjective, but I think the ones for me are just like the more absurdist comedy.
Yeah.
Like the ones where it's just like Golden Boy, right? Where it's like you don't know what's happening next.
Yeah.
And it's that like subversion of expectation to like the most ridiculous conclusion that makes it really like, that's why I find shows like Nichijou and Gintama are really funny, because it's like, it does that exact same thing of like, you think the joke's going one way and it's just like, nope, we're just going to go complete 180 and just show you the most ridiculous shit. Right.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of like comedy anime, especially nowadays, really struggle to do that, because I don't know, maybe because like they're afraid of like alienating their audience, or
I don't know. I think they've always struggled to do that. Comedy anime are like really fucking hard to find a lot of times, because a lot of times the joke is, I trip on your panties. Oh, look at me. Oh, I walk into you when you're showering. Oh no, please. Oh, don't hit me. No. And I'm just like, oh, okay.
All right.
I like I said, if you're gonna go that direction, like one comedy anime or one comedy manga that has made me laugh out loud is like Prison School. That was like back in the day where it's just a bunch of
it's the most degen shit ever.
Holy shit. It is the definition of boys will be boys, but like
Grand Blue as well as another example.
Oh yeah,
of that.
Grand Blue.
Like Grand Blue, it was the most like lads manga I've ever read. It's so good.
Never watched Grand Blue.
Never watched Grand Blue.
So funny. Yeah, it is the most. Yeah, that is the most like lad energy manga ever.
Yeah, it's one of the few manga I've ever read that reminds me of an old school, college comedy film. You remember those back in the day when we had like fucking American Pie?
Was it like the American Pie anime?
Yeah, super bad and that kind of thing. But it's like seeing that kind of humor translated in a Japanese lens, I thought was like really fucking interesting, and it's one of the funniest manga I think I've read.
Yeah.
Definitely both Prison School and Grand Blue. Just like, it's really, really hard to make me laugh out loud.
Yeah,
but those definitely did that.
For sure.
Today's episode is sponsored by Honey, the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer.
Boys, how do you feel when you find a deal online?
The best, Joey.
Extremely excited.
Doesn't it suck that you don't have a coupon code sometimes? You know, you want to get that sale.
Always,
Joey. Well, just for you guys, Honey's here to save you. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best ones it finds to your cart.
But how does it work, I hear you wondering, audience? Well, imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite websites. When you're at the checkout, the Honey button appears and all you have to do is click apply coupons.
That's all?
Okay. That's all. Wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons it can find for that site. And if Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch the prices drop. So Joey, how much did you save using Honey?
Well, you know, we went to Thailand for Garnt's wedding, and flights are getting kind of expensive right now.
Hey, man.
But thankfully, thanks to Honey, I saved over $100 on my flight ticket.
Thanks, Honey, for making my wedding happen with the boys.
Honey doesn't just work on desktops though, boys. It works on your iPhone too.
God.
Just activate it on Safari on your phone and save on the go.
If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight out missing out on savings, guys. And by getting it, you're doing yourself a solid and helping us as well. So get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/trash-taste. That's joinhoney.com/trash-taste. Back to the episode. But yeah, in terms of what I've been watching, well, I actually wanted
Besides everything.
Besides everything, because it's like end of the year and this is like the time I have to watch everything, I guess. I had like I was thinking, what would I recommend to you boys, since I assumed you guys were not watching anime. And
well, not as much as you.
And what is it that you could possibly miss, you know?
Right. I mean, the golf one sounds right up my alley.
Okay, no, I got one for you, Joey.
Okay.
I got one for you.
I'm listening.
All right, you've probably heard of this before, but it's not mainstream yet. It's not mainstream yet.
That's good. That's a good start.
Bocchi the Rock.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like,
What do you mean? That's fucking everywhere. Everyone keeps
Is it
fucking-
everywhere?
To be fair,
Everyone keeps annoying me about it.
To be fair, I have started watching that.
you wouldn't like that, Connor.
I know. I saw it. And everyone's like, it's so good though. I'm like, guys, you don't want me to watch it because I'm gonna shit on it. Don't ask me to watch. Don't ask me to watch.
Save it. Save Bocchi the Rock from Connor.
You don't want me to watch this because I'm not gonna react the way you want me to. Like, I'm gonna probably hate it because it's fun and you like it, but I just know I'm not gonna like that kind of.
Yeah. I mean, you can watch it for bands if you want, but like, I'm telling you, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
But
I almost want you to watch it just to hear your opinion.
Just the shit on
Just to
Bocchi the
hear your
Rock
opinion
fans.
on it. But yes, to be fair, I have started watching Bocchi the Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a couple of episodes in.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's like, you know what? You're not the only one who was like, you would love this show, Joey. Like, literally everyone has been like, yeah, you would like this show,
You would,
Joey.
because you like K-On!, right?
Yeah, and I love
this
K-On!
is like better K-On! Yes, I fucking said it. Okay, I'm gonna start a war right now. No,
It could have been as bad as Bang Dream. It's all right.
Yeah, it's literally like, you know, I can see why people like K-On! I personally didn't like K-On!, but it's everything that I wanted K-On! To be, you know, because it has this mix of, you know, cute girls doing cute thing stuff, but then they actually like trying to get shit done, and I'm like, okay, now I can get behind it.
I think the word you're looking for is they actually have a personality. Because let's be real, as much as I love K-On!, not really like an eclectic cast of characters, you know, where it's like, oh wow, she's this girl and she's this girl. It's like, it's very surface level with K-On!, but I mean, obviously K-On! Never took itself seriously in that respect, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, I've only a couple of episodes in, obviously, so I'm reserving like full judgment on it. But already I can see like, yeah, I can see why a lot of people say like, this is like the better K-On!.
Yeah.
Or I guess I guess the deeper K-On! is what I like to call it.
It's different from K-On!. I was just like, I just left to shit on K-On! fans.
As do I. Don't worry. I am also a K-On! fan. I love to shit on K-On!
But
fans.
it's not really the same show, aside from the fact that it's cute girls making a band. But I mean, there's been this recent trend in anime that I haven't really been able to get behind, and it's because I call it like She Just Like Me for Real shows, where it's just this show where this cute girl is just like socially awkward, and I'm like, oh, here we go again.
You talking about Watamode?
I'm talking about Watamode, fucking Komi-san,
Nagatoro.
Not Nagatoro, actually.
I'm sure there were some girls or some guys that were like me for real.
But just these socially awkward anime characters, and it's just like, oh, look at me, guys, I'm so cute because I can't talk to people. Look at me.
I hate it so much.
But like, one thing that surprised me about Bocchi the Rock is that it totally goes down that route, but they convey moments using animation that you relate with on like a fucking, it hits you in your soul how much it hurts sometimes. Like, seeing her go through these different situations is the same kind of situation that are portrayed in these other shows, but they go so off the walls with like that animation that it just it turns it into almost like a meme, which is why I think Bocchi the Rock has been so widespread on like Twitter and everything.
So many reaction images.
Because the entire show is just a living meme. Because there's so many moments where it's so relatable that it just becomes a meme in and of itself.
No, and I think that's, you know, another huge reason why, like, you know, when Komi-san was airing, right? Like, why you saw so many fucking reaction images of like Komi-san, right? Because it's like, yeah, as you said, it's just like me for real, right? And it's like they purposely make the faces of the characters reacting in certain ways to be so memorable in like the reader or the watcher's mind. Where you just like, it's just like, yep, immediately you have to, like, you know, like another one of those shows that I just couldn't fucking stand when it was airing was like Umaru-chan, right? Fuck. Like, oh my god! I know I hate to bring this up again, and I hate beating a dead horse, but like Umaru-chan was like another show where it was like so many people watching Umaru-chan was just like, oh, she play video game and she doesn't work. She's just like me for real, dog.
This is why I like Golden Boy, because he likes MILFs and he cycles everywhere, and that's why I was like, damn,
Golden Boy he's just like me for real.
He's just like me for real.
He's 25 years old, close enough, and he likes MILFs and he wants to cycle everywhere. And
he just cycles around places.
I'm just like, damn, he's just like me for real.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I realized now, I was like, for the longest time I wondered, like, why haven't I watched Nichijou? And I was like, I think I just don't want to watch schoolgirls. Yeah. I just don't care to watch girls in school.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, I don't know if that's me, like, I'm a Giga Chad mindset. Don't want to. I'm like, I don't know why. I just don't care.
I think Nichijou is an exception because you know, some of the characters are schoolgirls and a lot of the jokes are based in the school.
Yeah,
but the jokes are so incredibly absurd to the point where it doesn't matter.
I know, that's why I want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I think other shows like Kemi-Con Community and all those type of shows, I'm just like, I just don't think I care.
No, I actually agree, which is why Bocchi, like, that was my biggest surprise of the year, because I came into it being like, I'm gonna hate this, but I'm watching this because it's my job, and I watched it because I watched it because, you know, I was making my end of year video, and I'm like, fuck, this is actually really good. I relate to this on a level that I did not think. And I remember I was like, is it a me thing? Am I like, is it just something weird, or is this show actually good? So I convinced Sydney to watch it with me as well. And there were literally some scenes where we would be watching it together, and Sydney like literally just goes, oh, like that. You know, the very Sydney way to do.
Very normal reaction.
Normal reaction.
Normal Sydney reaction. Yeah. And I go, Sydney, what's going on? She's like, fuck, I hate it. I get out of my mind. Get out of my mind. Because there'd be several scenes where she, you know, Bocchi does something cringe, and that would just unlock a core memory that Sydney had just buried away.
Sydney doing cringe things,
that she'd forgotten about, and like watching that show unlocked like 10 different core memories per episode. Which is, I think, the real magic of Bocchi, where it takes these moments, and if you've ever been a cringe teenager in your life, which a lot of us have, including me, there will be something in there that will just make you remember something shitty.
Why do you want to relive that?
Huh?
Why would you want to relive being cringe?
I don't know. It's just I don't know why you want to I don't know why you'd want to relive that, but it's just, you know, it's just something that you relate to, I guess. I
think what I respect about Bocchi the Rock so far is, like, you know, yes, you know, the cringe elements are obviously, like, you know, very, you know, hashtag relatable, but I think how they portray those certain scenes is one, like, probably some of the most realistic, like, representations of, like, real life situations that have happened to people. And I feel like they do it in, like, a tasteful way where it's, like, also funny, because, like, that's one of the huge reasons why I couldn't fucking stand Watamote, right? Because it's like they took the cringe aspect to such a degree where it was just like, A, just unrealistic, and B, it was just like painful to watch. Like, there was no like, there was nothing that I could like watch in a particular Watamote scene where I'm like, haha, like there was none of that, right? But whereas with Bocchi, they do it in like a comedic way, but also in a very realistic and tasteful way.
Yeah, I love it. Like whenever whenever like something cringe happens, she just like goes low. She goes low res and she goes DeviantArt like kind of art style. And I'm like, fuck, man. I feel that. Like, I feel that. Man.
That is so much more of like a realistic like representation of how you would feel in a situation, right? Like that, right? Whereas in Watamote, like, what does she do? She just fucking shits her pants and goes home, right? Like it's not fun to watch.
I like that show.
She just shits her pants and goes.
Yeah, like I'm like, it's not funny.
Yeah,
I like that show because it was a real good indication of which people to ignore online if they had that profile picture.
Yeah,
like everyone who had a Watamote profile picture, you straight up ignore them.
Yeah, exactly.
Great life.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because there's this one scene that I know you guys can attest to that has happened like many times. Just to like paint an example of like something that's relatable.
Tell me on it.
Okay, so they're out as a group of mates, and they're trying to take a picture for their band. And every time they try to take a picture, Bocchi just has the worst, fucking stupidest face in every picture that they take. And I'm like,
she's just like me for real.
That is such Garnt energy.
And I'm like, that's never happened to me. Why are you doing this to me, Bocchi? Why are you fucking doing this to me? And then the girls are like, oh, we should post this online. And Bocchi just has like a mental breakdown. And I'm like, I've never had a mental breakdown, but like internally, I'm like, Joey, are you fucking posting this online?
God, I have an entire like catalog of photos of me and Garnt where Garnt just has like, how did you pull that face off in a split second?
Just like out of context, Garnt faces are just a thing, not just on Trash Taste subreddit, but just in our life. And it's always been that's just been my fucking life.
It's so
That's funny how
funny.
you relate to it. Man. I realized I watched another show before you recommend.
Okay.
Before I forget, because I'm going to forget.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
finished Mob Psycho 3.
Hell
Oh, shit. How was it?
Peak.
I like Mob Psycho a lot, but it was kind of confusing a little bit seeing how they handled the third season. I watched season 2, amazing.
Yep.
And I remember when it ended, I was like, is there going to be another season? And I saw discussion online that there wasn't that much left in the manga to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of odd. It felt very separated.
Yeah.
I haven't started watching it yet.
Okay.
but
Yeah, so I had kind of like a similar opinion. When Mob Psycho Season 3 got announced, I remember thinking, where can they take the story?
Yeah.
All the loose ends have been tied up. I'm not sure if they can do anything, if they can add any big plot elements that are better than what they showed in Season 2, right? Because I think Season 2 was a pretty complete season. You know, everyone had
They could have stopped there and I wouldn't have really thought much about it.
Exactly. Everyone had their character arcs and everything like that. And then watching Season 3, it felt kind of like a season-long epilogue.
Yeah, for sure. It felt like the continuation where it's like, hey, if you want complete closure to all of these characters, this is it.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel necessary. Isn't it weird how like I felt like these characters' stories were being wrapped up completely, but I felt like, okay, if you don't really care that much about seeing it all wrap up, I think you can probably skip season 3 and you'll be fine.
I mean, I still think it's necessary. I think my thing about season 3 is that it felt like it didn't need 12 episodes. You know, it felt like,
dude, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There was like 1 or 2 episodes where I was like, come on, let's get through it.
Right. Yeah, like it definitely felt like, oh, they are really padding this out because they need to make an entire season out of this, and I don't think there's an entire season's worth of content that needed to be like.
I think 9 or 8 episodes would have been pretty perfect.
Pretty perfect.
I think the way it's Mob season 3. I mean, I guess like spoilers. The first 6 episodes are its own arc. There's like 2 or 3 episodes.
2 or 3 episodes,
and then there's a 2 or 3. Then there's a 3 episode finale. I guess. It kind of wraps it all up, and I mean the 6-part thing in the start felt way too long.
That needed to be like 3-4
Even
episodes.
if that, like
most.
genuinely, I felt like that was too much. And then the last one was pretty good, but also dragged. It all felt just long. It all felt bogged down.
Yeah.
Some important things happened that I thought were really good. Can I spoil? Did you chill? Do you care? Or
No, I want to watch it.
you want to watch it? Okay. That won't spoil.
Yeah.
One big thing happens in it where I felt like, that kind of needed to happen.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you can think.
The ending, right?
Yeah, the ending part.
Yeah,
where I was like, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, that needed to happen.
When you said it didn't feel necessary, I actually like.
That was the one thing that felt necessary.
Yeah, exactly. Like I felt like, oh, okay. Now that I finished Mobs 3, I'm like, okay, I was wrong. I do think it was necessary. I think it was necessary just because season 3 is ended Mob in the most perfect way possible. And I think you cannot kind of like underestimate the importance of a good fucking ending, basically, where everything is wrapped up, everything is happy, and just seeing that final frame, it just like put everything together and just like was able to make me be like, okay, Mob's over. It's a fucking amazing show from beginning to end. Did it have its fault in like the pacing and stuff like that? Maybe in some places. I still think season 2 is absolute peak Mob. Season 2 is just tightly written, some of the most amazing fight scenes in all of anime, and it's just banger every single episode. Season 3 felt a little stretched out, but I still think what season 3 did was absolutely necessary.
I think the ending was necessary, but I think again, like I said, just pad it. To get rid of the padding. Yeah. Cut it down, make it quicker.
Yeah, like there's this fight in this middle of season 3, right?
Yeah, I know.
And it's fucking insane. It's absolutely fucking insane. But I wasn't as invested in that fight as the fights in like season 2, for example.
Also, it was very confusing. Following that fight and the fight. In season 3, the one that happened, I was like, wait, what? It was really confusing. I don't know if I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
It seems to be an occurring problem with you in anime, where it's like, I'm having trouble following these fight scenes.
That's manga. I have trouble following fight scenes. In the anime, I was like, what? But yeah, I mean, it was good. I like the ending a lot. I think the ending helped. Cut it down. So if you're gonna watch season 3, be prepared that it's gonna feel like it's really fucking slow at some points, but the ending is worth it.
All right, times 2 speed. Got it.
I would say.
I wouldn't say that. I just, I do think now that Mob's over, it's going to go down as a modern classic. Now that it's like over, it's fucking incredible. And I think season 3 was less actiony and it played more on like the character writing, which I think was the biggest surprise of season 2, right? Because I remember watching season 1 of Mob Psycho and I was just like, oh, this is like One Punch Man, but like his younger brother, right? Yeah. That's what I felt, right? Yeah. Where it's just like, oh, look at all these flashy fights. Oh, this is all cool. Yeah. And then season 2 happens, and then you actually see that there is like so much thought put into the character writing.
Mob Psycho's good. It's one of my favorite shows like ever.
Yeah,
I really like it a lot.
Yeah, and I think like even though it's just ended, season 3 has just ended, I think it's gonna go down as like one of the best anime ever made, because this is the kind of adaptations other manga fucking dream of. One is a complete adaptation, and two, Bones did not drop the ball at all. Yeah, in any part of the adaptation. It was just some of the most incredible animation we've seen in the medium of anime.
Yeah. Still the best looking. I don't know how they made psychic fights look good, but they look really good. You just wouldn't think that psychic fights look good.
They went Dicko mode, dude.
Yeah.
They go Dicko mode, yeah.
Bro, right. Like that fight in season 2 with the teleporting guy.
I
still remember that fight, man.
I'm still cream about that every night.
I wake up with a heart on.
When I can't get it up, I think back to that fight. I'm like, oh.
It's like, babe, give me a second. All right, ready.
Show me the shot of the guy teleporting and kicking him. Oh.
One thing I will say, without spoiling what happens, I'm glad that there was a moment where they played the opening song once again.
Yes. More anime needs to bring this back.
Did anime just like, talking about anime tropes that we got tired of, I don't know why anime decided that was just a cheesy thing that they should just stop doing. Because I've noticed more modern anime have just stopped putting that opening in the climactic moment. And I'm like, why did we stop doing this?
Yeah, it's fucking epic.
This is fucking epic. Yeah. And I remember this, like, seeing Mob 3 and hearing it. I'm just like, it's been so fucking long. Why do we, like, when that song came on, I was like, I feel like I'm going to fucking cry now,
let's go!
Let's fucking go, man.
Such a banger opening
as well. It's such a banger as well. And it's just, I don't know why anime decided to stop doing this. Like, they thought it was like, oh, we're better than this now. We don't need to put the opening song now. We can just use use like one of the tracks from the OST. I'm like, no, put the fucking opening back.
Yeah,
please.
I agree.
We can use a random Yonezu Kenshi track.
It just solidified in my mind that Reagan is like one of my favorite characters in anime. Like, bro, ever. He's such a goat.
Yeah, he is. Yes.
I want him to lie to me. Just fucking con my life, dude.
Con all over me.
Just con me and just give me friendship and then become a genuine part of my life.
Yeah, I would happily be conned and
Me
scammed
too.
by Reagan.
For sure, dude.
Yeah, I would have
scam
to.
me
That would
so
be an
well.
honor. Imagine like telling your mates that you were fucking
You
scammed.
will not believe who just scammed
You
me.
were scammed by Reagan. Holy fucking shit.
So what's the anime you're gonna recommend to me then, Garnt, this season?
It's hard because I think you've seen most of the anime.
Okay.
Most of the anime that I would recommend. I was gonna say something like Mob, but you've watched Mob.
Yeah.
If I had to throw like a curveball,
Like a lesser known one.
a lesser known one. If I had to throw a curveball, it would either be probably you liked ReZero, right?
Yeah.
Probably Summertime Render.
See, I wanted to watch it because it looked good, and so of course it's on Netflix in Japan. I was like, great, I'm gonna watch it. Oh, no subtitles.
Yeah.
Is it not on? Is it on Netflix in Japan?
It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
in
but there's
Japan,
no subs.
There's no English subtitles.
Okay.
Netflix does this for some reason, but they region lock stuff in Japan. I'm guessing it's
Yeah.
an agreement with the content.
Yeah.
Whoever gives them the content that they can't have English subtitles, otherwise people.
Oh,
look at
good
it.
way to practice Japanese.
I mean,
Well, yeah, it is good, but then when it's a mindfuck show, you're like, uh-oh.
I don't know. Like,
I watched Jujutsu Kaisen the movie in the cinema.
Yeah.
That's fine. I watched the Odd Taxi in the cinema. That was not fine. That was definitely not fine. I did not know what was happening.
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
Luckily I'd watched the entire show, so I understood what was happening.
Right.
But dude, it was impossible trying to figure out what they were saying.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I have a rule because I do watch approximately 50% of my anime without subtitles on.
Okay.
Like Bocchi, I watch without subtitles on. My rule is it set in high school? If the answer is yes, I watch it
This
without
is the problem.
subtitles.
I have like
Genuinely,
am-
that is my rule.
If there needs to be some kind of world building happening, subtitles included.
Yeah, so like I have like this flow chart in my head where it's like, is it about high school? Am I going to watch it? Probably not.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be really compelling.
Yeah.
And then there's other like flow charts in my head. I'm like, is it also an isekai? Definitely not watching it. Because every isekai show is garbage. Change my mind.
Yeah,
No.
you're right. There are two
And I
good
know you
isekai
like
shows.
that. I know you like that.
That
Yeah.
can't be an argument because Isekai fans already know that.
Yeah, I know, but that's the problem. And so when I'm ruling out all isekai and all high school anime, I'm literally left with like 2 a season.
Yeah.
Because
I'm left with nothing.
95% of it is gone.
I did a stream yesterday going through like a list of this random guy's list of like the top isekai of all time.
Yeah.
And I have like my rule of if something is what I would call a good isekai, right? Is it's a show that I could recommend to someone who is not interested in isekai at all.
Yeah. Like I'll watch isekai.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch a ReZero, right?
Yeah.
But like,
And-
it needs to be good.
And I came down to the conclusion that there are only 2 modern shows that fall into that category. One is ReZero, and the other is Mushoku Tensei.
God, and I watched both.
And you watched both of them.
And I liked both.
And I'm like, I was going
Everything
down the
else.
list of everything else. I was like,
Skip.
I'm like, I don't know. Like people were like, Konosuba though, Konosuba. I was like, no.
I like Konosuba.
That's
but
like
just barely. That
Konosuba is like a
threshold.
50-50 for me.
Yeah.
In terms of like, if
like-
you're
it's like-
if you don't like isekai,
It's like the Napoleon Dynamite of anime.
yeah. Like
You don't know.
Konosuba
You
is
don't
like,
know.
if you
Yeah,
don't like isekai,
yeah.
you need to be really integrated into anime culture to like it. Because there's no
Yeah.
way you can just recommend Konosuba to like a random person on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
street.
Also,
I agree.
season 2 was not that strong, in my opinion.
If you recommend Konosuba to someone who hasn't watched anime,
Yeah.
they're gonna think you're a freak.
Yeah, same with like No
up.
Game No Life as well, you know. Which
Oh,
is like
yeah.
if you're
Yeah, that's the show you don't want to
It's a
recommend.
really good show. Just please ignore the just
ignore the
please ignore the fact that he's fucking-
incest, ignore the
Ignore the
incest, ignore
incest.
the lolly and stuff like that. But
Ignore
it's
the
a fun
bath
show.
scene.
It's a fun show, you know.
Yeah, it's great. It
Yeah,
uses
yeah.
your mind.
Yeah. Summertime Render I think is the other really overlooked anime.
I've seen a couple of episodes of that, yeah.
I did want to watch it. It looked sick.
Yeah.
It looked like my kind of
It's
show.
not on Netflix. It's on Disney Plus though. It's a Disney
What?
Plus.
It's on Netflix though.
That's why I think it must be
in Japan
It's
only.
definitely I thought it would be a Disney Plus exclusive. At least it has English subtitles with Disney Plus, because for the longest time Disney kind of like locked it away and was like, no, rest of the world you can't watch Summertime Render. Fucking JoJo all over again. That's why no one fucking talked about it. But yeah, it's like ReZero. It's I was trying to think of something
Say no
witty,
more.
but it's just
Say
like
no more.
it's just fucking ReZero if it was set in summer. That's basically it.
Cool. I'll go with that.
And it's
It's ReZero, but it's hot. Basically.
basically ReZero and Higurashi, but he hasn't watched Higurashi.
Right.
So.
I have watched Higurashi.
Oh, you have? Okay,
Yeah,
ReZero.
I watched it dubbed. We had a conversation
yeah.
about how
Oh,
I,
yeah,
how I-
that's
how
right.
I watched it dubbed, and that was a mistake.
We fucking did.
You literally watched one of the worst dubs.
Yeah.
What's going on with ReZero? When Is there another season coming? What's up with that?
I don't know.
Why this shit take us so long?
I mean, Nagutsuki's still writing it.
How many REM figures do we have to move before they like? Surely the ReZero money pool must be infinite. Like with the amount of REM figures they've sold.
Yeah, but Nagutsuki doesn't see barely any of that shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. But wait, I thought there was already.
No, there's already enough material.
Yeah,
for
I thought there was.
No, there is
So
definitely.
I'm like, why?
Yeah.
What's the holdup?
I don't know, man. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into a fucking no game, no life.
It's so weird, right? Like it only feels like this happens in Japan, where there could be like an insane amount of demand for something, and they just don't do it.
Yeah.
If
What if they pull a no game?
Dude, if we had a ReZero in America, dude, we would have 19 spin-offs of how Subaru got circumcised.
I'm just
there would be a
praying.
whole fuction story arc about that.
I'm just praying they don't pull a no
HBO
game, no
prequel.
life and give us a movie instead of a season 2.
I don't know. Sometimes
season 3, rather.
Sometimes Japan go full that fucking direction.
Yeah.
Though. Like I don't.
But it's always the shows that like weren't really that popular. Right? Like it's always the shows you're like, why?
It's like
Spice of Wolf fans like first time.
it's like how many fucking seasons of Data Live is there now? And I'm like,
Who is still watching that show?
someone is, Joe.
Like
Someone is watching that fucking
we
show.
need to get these producers,
So mad about
like
that.
whoever the fuck these people are who are making idol shows. Can someone get them over to like the good shows? Because dude, those dudes know how to get shows made. Like straight up, they get shows made.
No, I'll tell you the difference. I'll tell you the fucking difference.
Okay, tell me the fucking difference.
Okay. We like to clown on idol fans and
Okay.
everything, right? They spend their fucking money, okay?
I'm sorry, have we not spent enough money on ReZero shit? How many REM? There's a REM every second in Japan. A REM figure is sold, if not 10.
Look, okay, like you go on Twitter and you see all of these Twitter accounts complaining about like, oh, CG in anime and like Chainsaw Man look like this. Do you think they fucking paid for that show? Fucking, I guaranteed most of them didn't even pay for anything.
I
Yeah.
have not bought $10,000 worth of Chainsaw Man merch. I've bought at least like $2,000 worth of REMs.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I know my other fellow people who live here have.
Yeah.
Every day whenever I go to the Crane Game place, I always see people winning REMs.
You know-
The REM fund must be deep. Why do we not have more?
REM fund.
The REM fund
How
must
is
be
there not
deep.
like more REM porn as well? Like I just don't understand. How, like it doesn't make sense. to
I'm
me.
just saying, idol fans fucking turn up, man.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
I do.
they turn up.
They empty
man.
their wallets
Yeah,
and
yeah,
their
yeah.
savings account for
Yeah.
that shit.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
That's.
fuck that, dude.
I honestly do. I'm gonna make a prediction that they are making more ReZero. It just takes a long fucking time to make anime.
Yeah, that's true.
And
maybe
I'm
I'm not appreciating it enough.
Yeah. I think one of the big issues right now is just like every anime studio is just
Rammed.
booked up to capacity,
Yeah.
over capacity.
I'm gonna
even.
be sad if I'm like 40 when ReZero ends or some shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? What is this?
One Piece fans. Will be like,
Well, I mean, I'm reading that right
Baru
now.
fans.
It's hard to do anything else when you read One Piece. I'm not talking about it because I don't want to talk. I
Yeah.
want to just wait till I'm done. But yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It takes so much time.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it does. It
For
does.
sure.
But I don't know. We have so many shows coming out right now that sometimes I'm just like, okay, a show's just gonna if a show takes 10 years to finish, if I could get through Evangelion, then I can get through anything. You know, if I could wait all of this time.
You say that, but I think like movies like Avatar, the wait like actually it was a massive detriment. I think to me caring about anything.
Well, yeah,
and
it's
I
because
think-
just people have shorter attention
No,
spans now.
I don't think that the time period made a difference. If I've seen Avatar 2, by the way. So-
Yeah, you watched it now? Have you?
yeah, I have an opinion on this.
With ReZero, when I watched the newest season last time, it did take me a minute to be like, all right, yeah, why do I give a shit again? Okay, let's get back into this. Like,
Yeah.
it can be frustrating, and I think that's what I know. Because anime just takes a while, right? Like Overlord, I just haven't watched the new season because I'm like,
It's not worth it.
I know.
I have watched the new season.
Like-
and
Really?
Yeah, it's
I watched 3 seasons of Overlord, right? And I loved every season I watched. But the thought of having to remind myself to give a fuck again about everything is like, okay, dude, I can't.
Yeah.
And I know because Overlord's a lot.
Overlord is a
yeah.
lot.
I
It's,
liked
it's
it, but-
very like dense in its world and characters,
That's what
and
I liked about it.
yeah, I mean,
But it just makes it that much harder to get back into it, right? Because
Yeah.
you have to remind yourself again about all those little details.
Yeah.
yeah, for me, it's like playing a JRPG, quitting halfway through, then wanting to play it again,
Yeah.
and getting back to the game. You're
Impossible.
like, I don't remember anything.
Yeah,
Impossible.
I don't remember anything.
At
now.
least with Avatar, it was basically like very easy kid story plotline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas stuff like Overlord and ReZero feels like a lot to get back into. And so that's basically why I didn't watch Overlord, the new one. And I don't really think I will. I don't think I care anymore.
That's how I felt about Log Horizon as well.
Yeah, that too. Like
I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't want to sit through this again.
I think if shows
as much as I loved it.
just take way too long to continue. Like, what was the break between the Overlord seasons? Wasn't it like 3 years, 2 years?
It's 3 years, 2 years. Something
3
like
years is
that.
too much, I think.
I don't know. I feel like it could happen. If honestly,
for 12 episodes, it's too much.
Honestly, because the example I use, Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Right? Between season 1 and season 2, we had like a fucking 5-6 year break or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a long break. And everyone thought that by the time season 2 came out, everyone would stop giving a shit about Attack on Titan.
Everyone kind of did, though.
Everyone kind of did.
For a little bit.
For like a little bit.
But I felt like it wasn't until season 3 where everyone started caring again.
But then you only really start caring when the hype shit starts happening.
Yeah.
Because the problem with something like ReZero Season 2 is that it felt more like a setup season.
For sure.
And like you're like, I don't really care what's going on and I don't really care to invest myself because there's not really anything hype happening. But let's say ReZero Season 3 does happen. I don't know what happens further on. And there are some fucking banger moments. There are some hype shit happening. You're gonna start like, oh shit, I wanna like care about this again, you know. And I feel like something dense like Overlord. My big problem with Overlord in general right now after watching season 4 is that every season I come in with the same thing when I'm like, oh, I really like the world and the characters, and I'm waiting for like I wait for that oh shit moment because it always feels like it's building towards that oh shit moment, and then it just doesn't deliver the same way I want it to deliver.
12 episodes just isn't enough for stuff like Overlord, I think. I think it's too... Like the Overlord world is so dense, like you said, that 12 episodes just feels like you got like an itch of an arc.
Yeah.
It feels like you didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Whereas when you compare it to like, let's say other like normal like live action stuff in America, it's like, okay, well, they might do 10 episodes, but like they're an hour long. So you can really get into some shit. I think just not like 6, what is 12 hours? Is that like 5 hours of content, 4 hours of content?
12 episodes?
Yeah, that's like 4 hours
It's
of
about
content.
4 and a half, 5
You cut the
Yeah.
intros and outros.
Yeah.
Like 4 hours of content isn't that much.
Isn't that much?
For a really big world building show like Overlord, where they hint at so much stuff, and it's like, man, it's like I can't. Even in season 3, I was like, wait, who's who again?
Yeah.
And you hinted at this a little bit in season 1. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's just tough to care.
It is. And
I want to. I really want to care. I like Overlord. I like the world. It was sick.
Yeah.
Because it's a really sick world and there's a lot going on, which is like I said, something that I always liked about Overlord, and it's always felt like it built up towards something.
Yeah.
And then when it just
you know it's good when there's like multiple channels uploading lore videos about Overlord.
Yeah.
And there's so many of them and they're good. And you're like, whoa, this is actually fucking interesting.
Yeah. Which, like, honestly, sometimes if I just need a recap, I'll just like watch a recap on YouTube.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's normally enough for me, because normally what I find a lot of the times with big open worlds like this is that for like the important story beats, 90% of the information isn't like necessary. It's necessary if you really want to immerse yourself in the world. But for like the core basic story beats of this epic thing is happening, what do I need to know going into this beforehand? You can normally like, just read a fucking wiki
I
page
think
to get up to date and
that
stuff
makes
like
you just think about like Game of Thrones, where it's like, you can have the surface level plot points and enjoy it, or you can really get in the world building and get fucking lost in how good the world is. And
Exactly.
How well it all interacts.
Yeah.
And I feel like that it's just hard to do that with a lot of anime. 'Cause bro, I'd rather die and lose both my arms than read a visual novel. I'm just not. I'm not.
Do you mean
doing
light
it.
novel?
Yeah, sorry, light novel.
Both
Both.
light novel and
Actually,
visual
both.
novel.
Actually.
Yeah, both.
I'm not doing it. I can't read a visual novel.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the writing.
Yeah. Oh my god. One other anime I want to talk about, which I think is being holy shit so underappreciated right now, is the new Gundam.
Oh, okay.
The new it's weird seeing just the dichotomy between how popular and how well advertised it is here in Japan, and just how underwatched it is with like Western audiences. You go to like
people are scared of Gundam.
Yeah, you go to like the My Anime List page and you scroll down of like all of like the fall anime seasons, and Gundam's like right near the bottom. I'm like, how the fuck is a show this good that's delivering this hard that close to the bottom in terms of like popularity?
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because like I think for a lot of people, Gundam is just like this thing that's been around for fucking almost half a century at this point, right?
It's
and
intimidating.
It's super intimidating.
It's intimidating.
Right? Because like people know the name,
Yeah.
but so few have actually sat down and like even watched half of the shit that's come out of the Gundam universe, right?
Exactly.
And so like when you see a new Gundam, immediately you just think, oh, well, I do want to watch it. It looks cool. But that would mean I have to go all the way back and watch everything.
And
right?
obviously you don't have to, right?
You don't have to. No, absolutely not.
But it's kind of like, so there's, I'm gonna sound like that person again.
Oh,
so there's like there's like several different timelines in Gundam, and so there's one main timeline that's kind of like the MCU, where it goes all the way.
Fate.
Yeah, kind of, except things are in chronological order, right?
Yeah.
So it goes, and that timeline goes all the way to the very, very first Gundam that was made in like 1970 or something. And I haven't watched any of those Gundams because I'm that guy who wants to really immerse myself and know every little Easter egg and stuff like that. Right. So in order for me to enjoy some Gundams, like for example Gundam Unicorn or like
Thunderbolt,
Gundam Hathaway, I would need to go all the way back to the beginning to get the full appreciation of everything going on. You don't need to. Like I'm not saying you need to. This is a me thing, you know.
I've been trying for years, like hyping myself to be like, all right, this is the day where I start my Gundam journey, and then when I look at the list, I'm just like, maybe next week.
Yeah, exactly. And then there are certain other Gundams that are just separate from this main timeline, which are much more, let's say, newbie friendly. Stuff like Gundam Wing, Gundam 00. What was the desert Gundam? Fucking Seed? Not Seed. I call it Gundam Space Africa because that's basically what it is.
Space Africa?
What?
I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about? You fucking know what I'm talking about.
Can you explain Space Africa to me?
I don't know.
It's called inside.
Oh fuck! This is gonna it's
Space Africa.
Space Africa.
Gundam original shows because it was the last newbie friendly Gundam.
It's like you can tell me that I don't need to watch any other Gundam, but something in my brain just will not allow me to watch it and not be like, oh, there's more.
Yeah, you naturally.
Well, what's the last Gundam you watched? Because I swear you've mentioned this before.
I haven't watched any.
Iron-Blooded Orphans?
Iron-Blooded Orphans, that's it.
I watched
That's
an.
it.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
one.
Space Africa?
What the fuck? Yeah, I watched like one episode of that and then I got scared and I was like, no, I'm not watching it anymore.
I was like, it's not Iron-Blooded Orphans. What is it? It was Iron-Blooded Orphans. All right.
Okay. It's scary.
All right, let me sell you on like the new Gundam,
God,
which is
okay.
Gundam: The Witch from Mercury. So it's a new Gundam. So it's like you.
You know my one interaction with this show, at least when I've heard of it. The last time I ever heard anything about it was when we were in the car to film with Charlie.
Right.
Which is critical. And the guy who picked us up was talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
and
right.
I just remember sitting there and he's like, yeah, it's really, well, actually, that's not what he sounds like this, but he's like, it's just cool. They have like lesbians in this one. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah, the main girls are like a couple, right?
Yeah.
But that was all I'd
yeah.
heard about it. Is this guy's like, I just like that it's like a lesbian this time. I'm like, what?
I mean, they do like it's kind of got lesbians in it, I guess.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if that's true. That's just what he said, and I was like,
I mean, it's like lesbian or like it's like Yuri in the same way as like most other Yuri shows, where it's just like there's just two girls that just really, really get along.
They're just really good friends.
They're just really good friends. Like Licorice Recoil, they're just like the main two girls. They're just really, really good friends. Are they actually gay? I'll never tell. You know? We'll never tell. We'll just hint at it.
Yeah.
But,
that's up to you.
that's up to you to decide, Dojin artist. But no, so yeah, this is a completely newbie-friendly Gundam, so you can get into this knowing nothing about Gundam. I think it's designed that way as well. And one thing that Gundam has always been, like one of the main selling points about Gundam has always been the politics, right? And normally, a lot of times, it's been about the politics of war, right? You have two warring nations, and that's been a lot of like mecha in general. What I really liked about Gundam: The Witch from Mercury is that it focuses more on like corporate politics. So it's set in this world where this whole corporation, like mega corporation, controls basically every kind of giant robot, every mecha that's made.
So
right?
Google.
Huh?
Google.
So Google fucking like imagine if like Elon Musk
Bezos
Bezos. Yeah, imagine if Amazon took over the world, which they're basically and just start like had a monopoly on giant robots.
Okay.
That would be this like corporation.
Right.
And within this corporation, there's like branch companies that vie for power within this one giant mega corporation, right? And obviously every different branch companies makes different types of giant robots and different mechas and stuff like that. And obviously there's a special kind of robots called Gundams using gun technology that obviously is like super fucking OP and stuff like that. But it got so OP that they banned the technology in this company by kind of like killing everyone off and stuff like that. Yeah,
you could have just like made them unemployed, but
yeah, exactly.
Let's take it out.
Just Men in Black though.
Yeah, exactly. And I really liked the fact that they didn't go down the, they didn't just go down the war route again, because I found like Gundam, when I see Gundam and I see like another war story, I'm like, okay, I've seen it before. In fact, I've seen it so many fucking times before. But just seeing them still have a show like steeped in politics, but just shift it into like corporate politics and just like vying for like power within this big mega corporation. I thought, yeah, that's a really interesting take. Like seeing, like one scene that stands out to me is like one of the main characters, one of the main girls has to like pitch this company idea to all of like these mega corporations, so to all the leaders of all the branch companies, be like, please invest in my company. We are going to make they basically do a pit like a fucking Shark Tank investor pitch just with fucking giant robots and Gundam. And I'm like, this is actually pretty cool, because that's an original take on Gundam.
Yeah, for sure.
And
they've run out of like normal story points. They're like, Shark Tank, fuck it. Let's do anime Shark Tank with Max. What could go wrong?
That sounds epic.
And it's just a lot of these branch companies trying to sabotage each other, and trying to make like the best giant robots they can. It's written by the same person who wrote Code Geass as well.
Okay.
So it's got a bit of like high school hijinks in it, but that's what you expect with like Code Geass.
Why the fuck is there high school
He's 60% less excited to watch it now.
Because
they just made it sound sick, and then you're like, by the way, they're in high school.
I did need to mention that because, they needed to add giant robots fighting somehow, because it's a fucking
why high
Gundam.
school?
Huh?
Why high school?
It's a high school where basically it's a high school.
Is it like a business school?
It's a privileged high school where daughters and sons of all like the leaders of all these mega corporations kind of like send their kids to this one school, and how they settle any dispute in the school is by setting a duel.
I like that.
They set.
We should bring that back.
That's how the term starts off. Is that one of the girls is betrothed to one of the kids in betrothed to one of the kids in one of the other schools.
Getting married. Nice.
Yeah. And then there's this main girl who's like comes from like a peasant family, like poor girl.
Just like me for real.
She just like me for real. She challenges the guy to a duel, and by winning the duel, she inadvertently also means that the other girl is betrothed to her as well.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the rules of the duel that was set.
Like, are they like physical duels, or are they like, how many stocks and bonds can I buy in 5 minutes?
No. That's the physical like giant robot duels.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like they added that because they're like, we can't make an entire Gundam just on stocks.
They should do that. They should try it.
Fuck, we need to add giant robot fights in this somehow.
I feel like Gundam fans will, though. They will watch stocks. As long as you say they're trading robots, I think Gundam fans are like, okay.
It's like, my model has Tesla technology. Watches the stocks rise.
Yeah. But honestly, it's giant robot fights. Fucking amazing. It's one of the prettiest looking mecha shows I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
Production values off the scale, but also I think more people need to watch it. And I think people are scared just because it's Gundam. And I'm just like, just fucking watch it. If you ever have been curious about Gundams, or if it's just been a long time since you've watched a giant robot show, I think this is like the perfect show for that.
Yeah, I think another big reason why people are scared to get into Gundam is, as you said, like, it's a lot of them are kind of like the same themes and like the same story, just like repackaged, right?
Yeah.
Like, as much as I like really enjoyed like Iron Blooded Orphans, I will admit I watched it and I was just like, yep, this is the Gundam show. It's
Yeah,
it's a Gundam show.
I think that's also the same reason why I never got as invested in 86 as I thought I should have. I mean, I know your opinions on 86.
I got tried in the court of public opinion for saying that shit was,
exactly.
that shit was garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed 86, but like, it was just seeing like another mecha show about war, and I'm just like, okay, I've seen this before. You know? I've seen it's like different flavors of the same thing, and not saying that that's a bad thing, but it's just like a story that I've seen before. So I really appreciated Gundam: The Wish for Mercury, like just taking like a different route to giant robots, but still making it political, which is one thing I've always liked.
Here's the question: is it canon with the entire like universe, or is it
no,
like a
it's
spin-off?
not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's its own separate entity, which is why I say it's like you can jump on as a newbie knowing nothing about Gundam, because it's got nothing to do with.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I probably won't watch that.
Yeah. As soon as I saw like as soon as I mentioned high school, the lights from Connor's eyes just like fucking.
I was already kind of like, it sounds okay, and then you mentioned that, I'm like, no, I'm done. I don't want to watch that.
On the topic of high school anime, though, I did have a recent realization myself.
What?
Kind of pivoting. I used to fucking really like the romance genre.
What happened?
You got married.
I think so, man. I think
he's tied up.
Okay.
All the options are closed off.
People probably know this already,
shit.
but it's like my taste in romance anime and manga is the most skewed out of any genre.
Yeah, I mean, you like emo, so
yeah, including isekai.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird because I just don't think high school romance anime or manga just do it for me anymore. Even if it's like a really, really well written romance.
I feel like half of these romance shows are from people who've never had a romance. It feels like that when I watch it. It feels like they've never had like they're like, this is how humans romance. I think.
Right. Am
I crazy? Like, am I?
No.
It feels that way.
I definitely agree.
I'm not. Obviously, they might. I'm sure.
I mean, especially the romance manga that are also harem manga at the same time are clearly like from people who are just like who clearly wanted, like they had a vision for what they wanted their romance life to be.
I can't watch harem anime anymore.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like I'm just watching a dude's OC fantasy. And like, I just, it doesn't feel like an actual story someone's trying to set. Like, tell. It feels
obviously,
more of like a self-indulgent thing.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, like the target demographic for the majority of harem anime are like, ages 13 to 15.
Now, if I'm watching a hentai, it's a different case.
Well, of course.
Different purpose I'm trying to get out of it, but story-wise, sorry.
Are you the type of like romance anime? Like what would you consider as like the peak of romance anime in your opinion? Because obviously everyone's answers to that are always different.
Define peak. What do I think is?
Well, what do you think was
best?
like the best? Like, or
I think it's actually come out quite recently. If I talk from like a critic standpoint, which I do think is the best romance anime, especially high school romance anime, to come out in a very, very long time, if not ever, it's Kaguya. Kaguya season 3 has been like, in terms of just an anime adaptation and just how interesting and how like the route they go down to portray this romance, I think is fucking incredible. And the payoff that has happened at the end of season 3 was kind of like worth all of the investment you put into or like the previous romance leading up to that. I think a lot of thought has been put into the characters to make them not just like, because the thing about romance anime, a lot of the times you see a lot of like one-dimensional tropes.
I hate that so much.
Yeah. And one thing like surprised me about Kaguya is the fact that I forgot the author's name. Fuck. Something took my tongue.
Oh fuck.
Satoshi Kon.
Written by Satoshi. It's Aka something.
Aka. Right? It's Aka something.
What the fuck was his name?
Fuck.
Yeah, the author of Kaguya-sama.
Yeah, the author of Kaguya-sama. He's done a fucking incredible job at characterizing all of the different characters and actually giving them more depth than they initially feel and having them develop during the course of the show.
Yeah.
And I think Kaguya-sama on paper and as a critic is one of the best romance anime and manga that has been made. I'd take Domestic Girlfriend over that any day of the week. And
well, I would hope so.
And that is, I just realized that because I realized the most fun I've had with any romance manga in the past like 2 years since Domestic Girlfriend has ended, it's probably Rent-A-Girlfriend.
Oh my fuck.
But I think romance.
Aka's
I think romance is one of those genres that is almost more subjective than comedy at times.
Yeah.
It's
for sure.
how every person views romance is so entirely different. And I mean, it's everyone experiences it in a completely different way.
Yeah.
So I think when you're watching these shows, a lot of them are just trying to they're like throwing out their version of romance and whichever one appeals to you the most in terms of an enjoyment sense.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that Domestic Girlfriend would be fun or Rent a Girlfriend because it's fucking stupid.
I mean, I think a big thing is that, hey, I am in a happy relationship.
yeah, like you
right?
don't want to see another happy relationship.
Yeah, because I think
I want to see a fucking car crash.
Because I'll be honest, I think a big, because I used to fucking love romance anime and manga so much. I think a big part of that was just the fact that I didn't have any in my life, you know. And this year I fucking finished my romance arc, my own life.
It's done.
And
it's no more romance.
and I'm,
it's done.
And I'm like,
all
what
tax purposes now.
And I'm like, what's left? Okay, seeing a happy couple get together, fuck, get that shit out of my face, man. That's boring shit.
Well, so
Give me
yeah,
like the
'cause-
spice.
So
Give me-
maybe you would relate to a story that's more about when you're married and the difficulties of that, right? Like maybe that'd be more interesting.
I don't, maybe, but I think it's just something that's, I don't know. To me, like, I don't want something like Domestic Girlfriend or Rent a Girlfriend to happen in my life, obviously.
no. Fuck
no.
Holy
At all.
shit.
Well,
At
we
all.
would have had to had an intervention if that's the
Yeah,
case.
exactly. But reading a story about something
yeah,
like
yeah.
this
Yeah,
stuff
of
happening,
course.
that elicits a stronger emotional response from me than just seeing a happy couple get together.
It's just like true crime for you, right? Like it's just a different spin on true crime for you. White girls have true crime, and Garnt has Domestic Girlfriend. It's a different shade of true crime.
Like I'm
right? It is. It's just-
because it's definitely like fucking Rent a Girlfriend. I'm never going to say that it is a good manga. Okay, I'm never going to say that it is a good romance, but holy fuck, I cannot stop reading it.
It's
man.
entertainment.
This is like it's not peak writing, but to me this is peak entertainment because I read every chapter. I hate every moment of it, and I'm like, when's the next one?
Every moment.
Yeah, I hate every moment of it because I'm like, all the characters make me fucking angry.
Yeah,
it's
it's the reality TV of romance.
It
manga.
makes me pissed off. I need to see the next chapter right now.
Yeah.
And I remember catching up to Rent a Girlfriend, and I'm like, I need more.
That takes skill, though, I think, as an author to write something that makes you hate it, but also engaged.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, because there's a very fine line between hating it and then just wanting to drop it.
Yeah.
Be like, fuck it. No, I'm going to watch it.
No, I think that is a very fine line because there's sometimes you see a bad show and it's just like, this is just bad. I'm just gonna stop reading. And sometimes you see like a bad show where you see the characters, they make you angry or like, fuck, why is this person being like this or something? But there's something about it that just keeps you reading, even if it's like a hate read.
But I feel like you say like a bad show or whatever, but like I feel the moment you're able to elicit any kind of emotion, whether that may be a positive or a negative emotion towards a character, I think that's immediately a good show because it's like they managed to create a character that makes you fucking feel an emotion, right? Like the ones like almost all of the series that I have like dropped manga anime in the past are the ones that just don't elicit any kind of fucking emotion. Like there is no stimuli there where I'm like, these are all just, they're all fucking boring. Like it's not even the matter of like, I hate this character or I like this character. Like I'm more inclined to sit around to watch a show of a bunch of characters I fucking hate than a bunch of characters I feel nothing towards.
I want to disagree with you, but I did watch School Days. I don't know what, so I guess
That's what I'm saying. But and
hated
that's why I
everything.
feel School Days gets a lot more hate than it deserves in that sense because it's like, okay, you hated all these characters, but that's a better emotional response than
just
feeling
helped Joey.
nothing towards that character,
I just
right?
helped Joey with his defense. God fucking damn it.
Again, I proved my point once again,
No,
but
but-
y'all don't listen.
No, because like I
I
said,
still want to admit it's good though. I won't do that.
Like, because I did catch up to Rent a Girlfriend, and I was like, I need something else. And the series I stumbled upon to like fill the Rent a Girlfriend hate hole, or the spice hole, I should more call it, was Quintessential Quintuplets. And I remember reading it, and I was just like, I mean, it's all right.
That is definitely the emotion I had as well.
Yeah, I was like, it's all right. People will like it's all right. But
Do they not? Okay, question. Is it not confusing reading it? Do they not all look the same?
No.
No.
Sometimes, but like
But sometimes that's like the butt of the joke, right? Is that like, I thought she was someone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
My problem is that it's not that they didn't look the same. My problem was I just couldn't remember all of the character names. Sometimes if her name was
that's a benefit of knowing Japanese because all the girls' names in quintessential quintuplets have numbers in their names.
Oh yeah.
So it's like Ichika, Nino, Miku, Yotsuba, Itsuki.
That's so fucked.
I completely didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Like, easy way to remember the
holy
characters.
shit, that's a life hack right
Yeah.
there. That would have made it so much easier.
Yeah. Ichika's the oldest, Itsuki's the youngest.
Yeah, because I'm just like, if her name isn't Nino, I'm like, who?
That's just you tunnel visioning to the fucking
That
tsundere.
might be my tunnel vision.
Yeah, that's you tunnel visioning to the tsundere. Being like, everyone else irrelevant. Give me the tsundere girl.
I understand Garnt now.
No, but I get it with quintessential quintuplets. Like, I enjoyed reading it, but like, I wouldn't say it's like the GOAT. Like, I wouldn't say that or anything. Like,
Yeah.
it
I
was.
fucking love that shit.
It had, they do, and
Yeah.
and I feel it's because like it had just the right amount for a lot of people. It had like a good amount of wholesomeness, like cute, like standard,
Yeah.
cut and dry romance tropes. But it also, in the second half especially, it had a bunch of spice thrown into it.
I mean, that's kind of why I read it, because that's what some people told me, and I'm just like,
Wait, what spice are we talking about?
But like when you,
it's kind of like your basic kind of like love. Like I guess it's like a love pentagram. Pentagon.
Yes, the
love pentagram.
Of course, the basic love pentagon. I often find myself in the love pentagon.
no, okay, but I think in the case with you, for example, Garnt, like you read like Rent a Girlfriend, Domestic Girlfriend, right? And then
Yeah.
you went to Quintus. That's like eating a ghost pepper and then being like, all right, let me try this jalapeno.
No,
it's like it's not. You're kind of downgrading at that point. I feel.
Yeah. It's like people who have like Nando's medium and goes, oh, this is I can't handle this. This is too spicy. I'm like, this is spicy for you? What? This is vanilla.
So in like Rent a Girlfriend, he gets like NTR'd, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds way more compelling than anything I've ever heard from any romance. I'm like, I want to watch that. I want to see how this man gets cucked.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I saw it out of context and it was fucking.
Yeah,
glorious.
I saw the image. It looked funny.
God, Renting.
That made me want to read it more than anything else I'd heard about.
But that's what I mean, right? It's like even if it's a negative emotion you feel towards,
'cause they
or
took
a
a fucking-
ridiculous emotion,
It's
right?
a really fucking giant risk.
Yeah,
and
that's
cool
a
to see.
huge risk, and that draws a lot of people in, being like, I hate this, I need more.
Yeah, it's just.
And I would argue that's a good show.
Yeah, because I mean, I understand why a lot of people like shows that are more like traditional romance and stuff like that. Yeah, just I don't know when the last time I watched one and truly enjoyed one aside from like Kaguya. But
Also, like nothing ever happens most of the time in romance shows.
that's true.
Which is a big, and then when it does happen, it's always fucked up and weird. It's always like, actually, I'm gonna marry a kid, and it's like, whoa, what? Like, hold on, you know what I mean?
Masaaki
Like
drop.
literally, it's literally like we'll have a proper love match. Actually, I'm gonna marry a 5-year-old. That's gonna be what I'm doing. And
All
you're
right.
like, you're like,
You do you, bro.
Yeah.
what? No, no, not you do you, bro. You go to prison, bro. It's like it's yeah. I don't know, man. Nothing ever happens, and when it does, it's shit.
Yeah, because
At least with him getting cucked, that sounds funny.
yeah, because the thing it's
I
fucking
don't know
is.
why. That sounds hilarious.
It is fucking hilarious.
Just following this main character for like how many chapters?
It's I had this realization actually the other day. I realized because do you remember Nisekoi?
Yeah.
Do you remember how it went on for like felt like it went on for fucking ever? and
Oh,
just
it was the
refused to
Avatar
end?
2 of romance.
Yeah, it was
anime.
like the Avatar 2 of romance.
Yeah.
And it went on did you remember Nisekoi?
Yeah, I
at all?
remember I remember everyone being annoyed that nothing happened.
Yeah, that nothing
Yeah.
happened. Yeah, and I realized that Nisekoi was like 204 chapters, right? And I had this realization that
It was long, yeah.
it was fucking long. I had this realization that I had read 294 chapters of Rent-A-Girlfriend, and it's not even close to being over. And I'm like, just
What is this, the One Piece of romance anime? Like,
I didn't realize it went on for that long. Because when I think of long romance anime with a zero progression, I think Nisekoi.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, that was the long show. And I realized that Rent-A-Girlfriend is
like 100 chapters above that.
has already eclipsed that by 100 chapters and is still nowhere near like coming to a close.
When a lot of stuff happens, you kind of don't notice the length, right? Like
Yeah.
if it's dense and stuff's always going on, you kind of forgive it. And
Yeah.
like One Piece.
And I feel like that is a lot of that is a big problem with a lot of romance anime.
Nothing happens.
Where
Horimiya.
Horimiya.
is like
just name any anime
that is
that
the
can-
textbook example
Yeah.
of shit, so much shit. Like at the beginning,
Any romance anime.
Yeah.
that
it's
happened in
like,
the last
all
10
right,
years.
cool. I see this dynamic. It's kind of cute, kind of wholesome. All right, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And then you get to like volume 8, and you're just like, I can't believe you guys are still doing the same shit.
'cause-
And like another one, like fucking.
You said you caught up to Dress Up Darling, didn't you?
Yes, I was about to say it.
Yeah.
Like I just read volume 10 of My Dress Up Darling.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is horror me all over again, bro. Like it's nothing as. I'm like, this man has to be gay. Like there at this point, don't even bother, man. Like
I don't think that's the only option.
I'm like, if he hasn't advanced on you at this point, I just give up, Mario. Like it ain't worth it, bro.
Yeah, it's just.
And I'm getting scared, like, because like the first like 4 or 5, you know, and the first like season of the anime, right, were so fucking cute and wholesome, and it's like you were like rooting for Mario to be like, yeah, fucking go for it, bro.
Yeah.
But like, my god, from around like volume 8, I'm just like, oh no, it's starting to feel like horror me.
Yeah, it's there's always this, let's say, middle point in every romance anime where it's just like, okay, they hook you with the dynamic.
Yeah.
They have like a little bit of character development and between their relationship and stuff. And then there's just like a middle bit of just like nothing.
Yeah.
And then you just wait until like something big happens.
Yep.
And it's just that middle bit that kills me every fucking time.
Man, One Piece has corrupted my brain. You said 8 volumes. I'm like, oh, that's short. That sounds nice and bite-sized.
It's still like
That's
100.
still a
it's still
lot.
like 100 chapters.
There's still
if you
so
think about
much
it.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's disgusting.
Fucking One Piece, man. That corrupts anyone's mind in terms of like.
Once
I'll
a
get
One
there.
Piece fan,
Yeah,
always a
yeah.
One Piece fan.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like OG manga has also corrupted my brain as well in terms of what a long manga is. Because I realized, like, Shonen Jump manga are a lot shorter than what they used to be, right? Because I thought, I think back to the big 3. And I thought out of the big 3, Bleach always seemed like the shortest one, you know, out of all of them, right? It didn't.
And it's definitely not short
Yeah,
on the grander scale of
It
things.
felt shorter than, like, let's say My Hero Academia is, for
Right.
example, right? To me, it's not saying it is. To me, looking back to like how Bleach affected like my life and how long I followed Bleach, it felt like it was shorter in my mind. And it's like 700 chapters. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like 60 something volumes.
What? Bleach was this long? What?
That's crazy. That's
I just-
so long.
Yeah.
But I
just-
remember moments where like I would read all of Bleach and I'm just like, oh yeah. Like it was like you know, when I had the stomach flu, I reread
Yeah.
Slam Dunk, right? Like and it just fucking flew by for me. It's
Yeah.
31 volumes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this does
That's
not
that's a
feel
lot.
like 31 volumes. Like if you think about 31 volumes of anything, that's long.
Yeah.
And it's like almost 300 chapters and I'm like, how did I manage to just like fly by? And it just felt like nothing. But then when I try and sit down and read something like My Hero, for example, it's just like
It's because whenever fucking Bakugo talks, it feels like 900 volumes. You just like, God, stop this character from doing anything, please. He ruins the show so much.
Actually, I caught up to the latest.
Why?
Why?
I caught up to the latest.
What season are we at right now?
We're at,
Five,
we're at
right?
season 6.
What the fuck?
Yeah, right?
We're at season 6.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm still here
How
sitting.
are they pumping this shit up? But we haven't had
I'm sitting
ReZero
here
season 3.
I'm sitting here still thinking we're on like season like 4.
I thought genuinely, I don't even know. Fuck, I'm so confused. Okay, go.
Yeah, go on.
yeah, I will say,
6!
Yeah.
I will say to the credit of My Hero fans, it is the strongest season for a while. Is it worth catching up to? No.
Fuck.
If you don't like My Hero, if you fell out of love with it, would I recommend catching up for this? No. But what I will say now is I'm like, kind of prefer Bakugo as the main character.
Oh my God.
Over Deku. Deku, the more
Deku sucks. And
the more seasons, yeah, go for it.
I don't think saying that Bakugo is better than Deku is any credit to Bakugo. All right, Deku also fucking sucks.
Yeah, you know.
He's a shit main character.
Like going into like the later seasons, I'm like, man, Bakugo has his problems as a person, but at least he's interesting. Deku, the more seasons I watch, the more I just feel like he's a fucking wet bag of a
Oh my
protagonist,
God, dude.
man. Oh, he's just like a soggy
At least
biscuit, you know?
Bakugo's got that spice.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a pepper bomb, but like it's still spice.
Dude, I still look back and that that like 3-episode bit with the British bad guy and her little fucking thing. That shit felt like 10 years. If you haven't watched My Hero Academia, there's just one stupid filler arc with this basically British man as the villain, and the reason he's the villain is because he's British, which is fair enough.
Which is
That's
valid.
true. Yeah, that's valid. But it's just like the longest 3 episodes of any anime I've ever watched.
Was that the one where they like shoehorn a concert scene into it?
I think they like try and like I think they like take over. They try to like invade the school, and it was just It was again. I've never had 3 episodes of anime feel so long. It felt dude. I've read One Piece for like 6 hours that went by way quicker than those 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Insane how shit that show was at that point. I mean, I'm sure it's better. Like like it felt like at times it had moments of really good character writing, like when a few scenes with like Endeavor and stuff like that. I really liked how they had kind of
they really zoned in Endeavor's character arc, which
for sure, which I knew they were going to do, and I really liked that, but not enough to get back into it.
Yeah. It's weird because I could see with this latest arc that they tried to pull out all the stops. Everyone gets involved. They ain't no high school hijinks anymore. Like,
thank God.
Every fucking hero comes out. People fucking die.
People actually die.
Yeah, people actually die.
God.
Shit goes down. Shigaraki becomes so fucking OP. I feel like they made him OP for the sake of just like having to make a really OP
Shigaraki
villain.
Again?
He's the kid.
The hand guy?
The hand guy.
Oh, that guy, right.
Yeah.
I hate him. He sucks. He's such a boring villain in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, and I could see them pulling out all the stops, and I could see them trying really hard. But it's just missing something. I don't even know what it's missing. It's just missing some magic that I can't.
Do you like the main
pinpoint.
villain?
Do I like the main villain?
The 3 seasons I watched, I was kind of like, who asked? I was like, I don't who? Like,
Yeah.
My power is that I can jack myself off with all these hands.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't.
Yeah, I never understood that character.
It was in the 3 seasons in, and I'm still like, what is this dude's deal?
Yeah, it's really weird, right? Because we get to see his backstory. I'm not going to spoil what happens in his backstory, but if you like lay it out on paper, it's actually pretty fucking dark what happens in his backstory. And I don't know why it just didn't feel dark. It something about it was just like
the presentation of it.
I think it's just because it happened in the My Hero world. There was just this like
The
disconnect.
world feels very like everyone's wearing like a mattress around them at all times, right? Like, you bounced around. You know what I mean? Like it always feels.
Everyone's
very
wearing
safe.
a helmet.
Yeah. I was
safe.
I was watching the backstory. I'm like, damn, this is like some pretty dark shit that's happening.
Right.
Why doesn't it feel that way?
Yeah.
Why don't I feel like any emotions towards some of the fucked up shit that's happening?
Yeah.
And then I watch some and then you watch something that happens in like One Piece or like One Piece, which has like a very, let's say, it has a unique art style that doesn't look dark and cartoony or stuff like that. And some things happen in there, and that's, I don't know if it's a me thing, but even like when something dark happens in One Pice, it feels dark.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Even though no one,
it contrasts on the world pretty well.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't put enough thought into it to really pinpoint what My Hero in my mind is missing.
You need a prize or something. How many episodes is that total?
How many episodes is that?
It's like 100 plus.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Holy shit.
I salute you, sir. You've gone where few anime fans
Yeah,
have
the
gone.
last season I finished was, I think after the British guy showed up. That was the last season.
Yeah.
Was that 3 or 4?
Season 3, I think.
Season 4?
It's insane to me that I watched 4 seasons of that. That felt like 2.
So you got further than I did.
I don't know. I feel like my approach with anime is a very similar approach with you with like Netflix documentaries.
Yeah.
You know,
leave it on.
Yeah. Sometimes I leave it on, and then if there's boring parts in the anime, it's kind of just on in the background, and I'm like, I can follow along with what's going on, but like if it's uninteresting, I just don't get invested, and then I come back and sit down when it's like, oh, okay, shit's going down now, shit's happening, and season 6 of My Hero, to its credit, has been like me sitting down being like, oh, I want to see what's happening because shit's going down. But it just hasn't hit on the same level as Chainsaw Man, even fucking Demon Slayer, you know?
Isn't it crazy how My Hero Academia felt really new and fresh when it came out?
Yeah.
And now it feels so stale and outdated.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how quickly that happened.
It's weird. It's
and nobody talks about My Hero anymore.
Very few. Yeah.
I feel like because it's being outshined by its competitors in one aspect. Like Demon Slayer, I think has less interesting characters than My Hero characters, but it's the spectacle of Demon Slayer. It's just on another level.
Yeah, for sure.
And then now we have like Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, which I feel have more interesting ideas and characters than the whole world of My Hero.
Mature as well.
Yeah, I think they're more. I think they're more mature, and I think the whole world is just a bit more interesting than the world of My Hero.
Yeah,
as well.
I agree.
There's just so many things that I feel My Hero is so close to being a great show, but there's another show that does something better than it, and I just gravitate towards that show more.
The maturity factor, I feel, might play like a big role in it, right? Which is interesting though, because it's like it's still Shonen Jump, right? But like when you compare it to other Shonen Jump series, it's just something about it is like not childlike. What's the word I'm looking
cartoonish?
for? Yeah, almost. It's like Saturday morning cartoon vibe, right?
Yeah, I think
it feels
so.
like it's got the training wheels on.
Yeah.
It's like, I got murdered, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Like,
Did you now?
oh. My dad poured a hot kettle on my face. Oh. Oh, you.
That's a shame.
Oh, you. Oh. You know what I mean? That shit happened in Jujutsu Kaisen Chainsaw Man. That shit would be like visceral. It'd be gross.
Yeah, because you watched up to like season 5 of like My Hero, right?
4.
Up to 4, yeah.
So you saw some of the Todoroki character arcs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
With some like, you think about it, you lay it out on paper.
Oh, yeah, it's fucked.
It's like some traumatic fucking things happened to Todoroki. He got fucking abused by his dad and his mum. His mum fucking burned his face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you lay this out on paper. You're like, this is pretty traumatic. Why does it not feel like it's that serious? You know?
It doesn't.
Something about it. Just something about it is just being like, oh yeah, that's just a thing that happened in his past. Oh Todoroki, oh poor Todoroki.
Let's put some Vaseline on it.
Yeah.
I feel like if Bakugo lost like both of his legs, it would be cute. Like everyone would be like, "Oh wow, oh he used to figure out how to use his powers differently." You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like you know what I mean? It's just kind of like weird how it's just kinda, how they make these serious moments feel very like I said, like safe. Like it feels like it's contained in this very safe confines. Like scary ideas won't be explored. Like bad things will happen, but the implications of those ideas are never truly like Todoroki is obviously like has every right to be a character that has trauma, but I feel like they never ever really delved into it in a meaningful way.
No, he's just I hate my dad.
Like I hate my dad.
I hate my
have
dad.
daddy issues. It's like, well, why don't we like actually just fucking go into this and how that could actually impact you? Obviously,
right.
I think it wouldn't sell manga like talking about why Todoroki would be traumatized and why seeing his dad would like upset him. You know, like it feels that they laid out all the pieces and just didn't connect them properly. It felt like they kind of and he's sad and he hates his dad.
Yeah. It's
just kind of like background noise, right? Like it's not at the forefront.
It's not the 15th rant we've done about My Hero Academia. I don't like
I feel that's because it's such an interesting case study in anime where it's like there is very few.
It does
like,
everything right, but yet it doesn't feel right.
Right.
Yeah. The reason I watched it is because if I'm gonna shit talk something, I want to at least have watched it, and so I'm not talking out of my ass.
I feel like 4 seasons I have every right. I feel like I made it far enough.
Oh,
you can say Blue Lock, maybe I don't because I only watched 4
I
episodes.
did a season and a half, so
Look,
that counts.
Here on Trash Taste, we have uninformed rants about a lot of things, but I refuse to bring that to anime as well, man.
That's true.
This podcast is the epitome of where's your source? I made it the fuck up. Deal with it.
Can I break the anime talk?
Yeah, go on.
I did watch some Netflix documentaries though.
Okay.
What did you watch?
Of course I did. And there's one that I kind of want to talk about because it's kind of interesting. It was about, I don't know if you heard about this. There was a guy in Denmark who made like his own submarine. And he ended up killing someone on the submarine.
Right.
Okay.
But he was always like he's a pretty famous guy in Denmark. He's pretty quirky. He's called like Peter something.
Quirky.
Like very quirky. Okay, My Hero Academia.
My quirk is I can make a submarine.
Ooh, a little
is that,
quirky.
he commits murder. Okay. And I thought this documentary was interesting because the documentary crew is actually following him for all the weird shit he was doing.
Yeah.
Generally. And during the documentary, the filming of it is when he killed someone.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So it's one of the like obviously like this can never happen because you couldn't be like, hey, let's just film Garnt in case he murders someone, so that we have the crew ready to go.
Yeah.
Right.
So like it's like an hour and a half, cuts to the chase. It's really good. it's really just like, if you want to see a documentary about like true crime, whatever, even though it doesn't really focus on that too much, it's just kind of like showing you the sheer shock of everyone around the guy who did this fucked up thing. He did a bad thing. No, like,
He did a devious thing.
it's like really, it's compelling watching this documentary and just seeing how this dude who had built himself up and was really respected by all these people who are working with him as like unpaid interns.
Yeah.
They all just worked with him to help make these submarines for free because they just believed in it. And they were all very close. They were all very close knit. And then he murders someone. And
how does he murder them?
He takes this journalist out on the submarine, and then suddenly he comes back up and there's no journalist on board. And then there's a lot of questions that are like, what happened?
Right.
Why is the journalist not on board with you? Everybody saw you leave with the journalist, and he's like, "Oh, no, she's fine." And everyone's like, "What? What do you mean?" And then so they arrest him because they assume that something's happened.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, half a body turns up on like a coast
Fucking
somewhere.
hell.
And then he says like, "Oh, well, the hatch dropped on her head, and I then."
Shark ate her.
And then he admitted to cutting up the body, but he said, I didn't kill her, and it's like this whole thing. But it isn't really about that. It's just kind of because they had such an interesting, they were there filming as it all, because the documentary opens up with kind of like him being arrested and everyone reacting, being like, what the fuck? How could this happen? He wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And everyone's in denial. And it's just such an interesting look because you never ever get to see any kind of things like this where like it's more about the people around him than him himself and how they're reacting to this kind of all unfolding and going from being like, no, he would never do this.
So were they originally taking the documentary with the context of like, this is quirky
just a crazy dude
who makes a submarine. Right.
And obviously they interviewed him a ton and there's so much ominous shit that he said.
Yeah.
From these interviews.
I really feel like killing someone anyway.
Literally, he said shit like that.
What?
And he literally kept being like, if you met a psychopath, do you think you would know? And he's just talking about it like that. And he's just like, when you watch it back, you're like, obviously this guy's unhinged.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, when everyone was around him, everyone was like, oh, he's a genius. He's a visionary. He's making all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just so fascinating how you shows the dichotomy of how, like, one moment, everyone literally believes that you're like the smartest man and the genius, and you're just a fucking crazy dude.
Yep.
Like, you're just who happened to get lucky, and people flock to you, and you made some stuff, and then it's
someone should keep an eye on E1, by the way.
right? And it just kept making me think more and more about how we idolize these really bizarre people and the bizarre behaviors they have when it's really a lot of them are just
quirky.
Oh yeah, a lot of them are just like unhinged.
Yeah.
And, it's obvious that this guy. Dude, and there's some fucked up stuff. Like, there's one point in the documentary where one of the interns messages him and is like, "Hey, I need you to motivate me because I'm not going to do my work. Can you just say you're gonna do something violent to me or something to make me motivated to work?" I don't know why, but he then sends her like this giant essay about how exactly he's going to kill her, and it's actually what he does later on, like to the journalist. It's so fucked. And
Jesus
then
Christ.
Yeah, it's just all fucked. But again, it's just so fascinating. I recommend watching it if you really want to. Let me get my Netflix out because I should actually do that. I'm really bad at remembering the names of shows, aren't I? I always do this. I never remember the show's name.
Because
you watch so many.
I do watch a lot.
So it's like, it's one of the shows that I've watched on Netflix. One of the
I watched I watched the documentary about the meme guy who killed. The axe guy?
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah, I was going to watch that. Was that
it.
one good?
Yeah, it's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Into the Deep, the submarine murder case.
Okay.
It's an hour and a half, really concise, get to the point, but man, is it
I
fascinating.
like how Into the Deep was like, that sounds like a YouTube clickbait title. It's like, Into the Deep, that's a good title that like encapsulates what the story's about. Not clickbait enough. We need murder in the title.
Could you imagine?
We need a subtext.
You're there just filming the life of Garnt, and then Garnt just murders someone, and you're like, what the fuck? You're like, wow, okay.
Not a foreshadowing.
This is a very different documentary now.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. That's really interesting.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. I don't recall a time that's ever happened. Like where they've been filming someone, just a normal day, like filming them.
Yeah.
And then they do something like this. The closer we get to this is like reality court cases, of, like stuff that's like ongoing.
This is why I really respect documentary makers. Sometimes they just go into it and they're like,
they
we
just
don't
straight up
know
go.
what story we're going to take. We're just going to take a fucking risk.
See what
and,
happens.
see what story we can make out of this.
That's why. That's another good point. Is that it was really fascinating watching. I watched the McAfee documentary.
Oh yeah,
about dude, just the most fucking insane man on earth.
The stories that come out of that man
just
are crazy.
a very mentally ill man.
Yeah.
But what was more interesting is that the people who were filming him the whole time, they kept talking about it. And dude, man, the guy who followed John McAfee around was basically just a war photographer. He was like, yeah, dude, you got to be this fucking insane, follow a guy like that. Because they were like crossing borders illegally and stuff. Like the film crew were.
Why?
Because they're like, we want to get this stuff. We want to get this
right.
footage. We're going to break the law to get the footage as well.
Jesus Christ.
So like whenever he did anything batshit insane, the cameramen are doing it too.
Yeah.
Like when he's illegally breaking it, like crossing borders, all these cameramen are doing it too. When he's carrying guns around illegally, they're with them too, right? Like they take so much risk to get these like insane shots and stories, and it's so like I respect it, man. Like, dude,
anything for the shot.
It's insane. Like these people, like war photographers and war videographers are the most insane people on earth.
Nature videographers.
Yeah, man, they get like the most important like footage or pictures that we'll ever like need in society, right?
For
Like,
sure.
I just have so much respect for documentary making, especially when they go to that lengths like that, where they will put themselves in like the most dangerous situations to get a shot, almost recklessly. You know, like, should anyone have followed John McAfee around? Absolutely not. But you know, it's interesting getting to see.
But at
that
least
stuff.
we get to see that side,
and
now,
we get
right?
to see that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's insane. It's insane
Someone has to do it.
to think that we get to watch that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's just like seeing something like that reminds you what just like, you know, pure journalism is, you know.
Dude, for sure.
When we think about it's weird because when we think about journalism now, a lot of people think fucking either like IGN articles or just some guy behind a keyboard who has exposed like a scam or something like that.
Right,
you know?
right,
But we forget that there are people who like travel out to like, you know, areas of conflict, war zones and stuff like that, who are like in real situations of danger and risk, and they do it to get the fucking truth out. And that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Fucking
Alpha.
giga chads. Right. Yeah. Hey, have you seen that like one clip of, I think it was like, I don't know if it was like, it was a reporter who was in a war zone. She gets shot, and then she puts on like a bulletproof vest and just continues like reporting.
Yeah.
Even though she just got shot. And I'm like, what a fucking badass,
Could you imagine? She's just like, it's just like bang. It's like, oh, whoops, forgot to put this on. That won't happen again. Apologies anyway.
I'll get that out later. Let's figure that out.
Yeah. It's like, don't worry.
Yeah.
There's a hospital around the corner. Don't worry about it.
So that was my weekly recommendation of Netflix documentaries to check out. Damn, we talked about anime.
Holy
all
fuck.
episode. This episode
Holy
is not going to
shit.
do well.
When was it?
People are going to hate this episode.
The comments are gonna be like, I like it when they only talk about anime for a little bit.
We did it so the clips we need to like reinvigorate the clips
farming
channel,
clips,
man.
yeah.
That's true. Hey,
Golden Boy, the goat of anime.
the goat. Yeah. Hey, look at these patrons though.
Look at them.
Hopefully
Look at
they
all of
enjoyed
them.
this full-on.
Do you guys still watch anime? do any of you guys still watch anime?
Nobody watches anime. Only Bocchi the Great.
Yeah.
Because it's the greatest anime ever made.
Do you mean Bocchi the Rock?
Bocchi the Great.
Bocchi the Goat, sorry.
Bocchi the goat.
Bocchi the Goat, sorry.
That's what it should have been called. But hey, if you'd like to support the Patreon, then go over to patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us some memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And yeah, we'll see you again for episode 370 when we come back with a full-on anime episode.
Yes, that was our yearly anime talk, guys.
Yeah, we filled our quota.
We filled our quota for this year. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.